Rich Thomason. Israel has bombed areas of southern Gaza ahead of an expected ground assault. The Israeli military says it's targeting Hamas hideouts, infrastructure, and command centers.
He's coming here at a critical moment for Israel, for the region, and for the world.
Secretary of State Blinken on tomorrow's presidential visit to Israel.
Since the brutal attack 2 weekends ago, the Biden administration has pledged military support to Israel and sent U.S. carriers and aid to the region. White House officials are also planning to seek more funding from Congress. And on Wednesday, the president will deliver an in-person message of solidarity to the leadership and people of the Jewish state.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston says Mr. Biden will also meet with Arab leaders in Jordan. Former President Trump says that if he wins re-election, he'll make sure that not a penny of U.S. funds finds its way to Mideast terrorist groups. The president also pledging to restore order to the southern border, adding that he would adopt strict requirements for would-be immigrants.
If you empathize with radical Islamic terrorists and extremists, you're disqualified. You're just disqualified. If you want to abolish the state of Israel, you're disqualified.
In Mr. Trump's words, we're going to have the largest deportation effort in history. The president spoke yesterday at a rally in Iowa. While not pulling in the welcome mat, New York City is revising some of the housing rules that apply to illegal aliens arriving in the city.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams has announced that he is limiting shelter stays for migrant families with children to 60 days in the city's housing system.
And that report from correspondent Lisa Dwyer. Watching Wall Street ahead of this morning's opening bell, the Dow futures are down 70 points, NASDAQ futures off 109 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper.
No, it was so you could say it faster.
No, it's to be more iconic.
Must be a tech thing. But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or to download the app today.
Stop overpaying for wireless. There is a better way. Pure Talk saves the average family about $1,000 a year on the most dependable 5G network in the U.S. You can get unlimited talk, text, and plenty of high-speed data for just $30 a month. If you're ready to cut your wireless bill in half, dial pound 250 and say keyword spend less, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Again, dial pound 250 and say spend less, and make the switch to Pure Talk today.
Vladimir Putin is among friends. The Russian president now visiting communist China.
The visit by Russia's leader highlights China's support for Moscow during its war in Ukraine. The visit also underscores Russia's support as China aims to expand its economic and diplomatic influence abroad. Putin's plane was met by an honor guard as the Russian leader began his visit. His presence in Beijing is to celebrate Chinese President Xi Jinping's Belt and Road Initiative, which aims to build infrastructure and expand China's overseas influence. I'm Karen Chamas.
The French anti-terror prosecutor says a suspected Islamic terrorist declared allegiance to ISIS before fatally stabbing a teacher in a school attack last week. The prosecutor says an audio recording was found by police investigators on the suspect's phone. In it, the alleged attacker declared allegiance to his Islamic State group and expressed his hatred of France. News and analysis at townhall.com. Several members of a California family have pleaded guilty to conspiracy for their role in a ring that shipped stolen catalytic converters worth hundreds of millions of dollars from California to New Jersey.
Federal prosecutors say brothers Tusu Vang, Andrew Vang, and their mother Monica Moa were part of a national network of thieves, dealers, and processors who provided the stolen auto anti-smog devices to a metal refinery for more than $600 million. The three acknowledged receiving $38 million for their roles in the scheme. 21 people have been charged in the case. Catalytic converters are easily stolen and contain precious metals that prosecutors say are sometimes worth more than $1,000 each. California accounts for 37% of catalytic converter theft claims nationwide. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
The House due to vote at noon today on Republican Jim Jordan's nomination to serve as Speaker of the House. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to it.
Yeah, buddy.
Getting kind of dark in the mornings when we start again.
It's really throwing my internal clock off. I left my phone in the living room, didn't wake up to my alarm this morning. I woke up and the sun was already coming up. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, I went to panic mode.
I feel like this is what it's supposed to be for us.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
Like, this is like...
It's how it ought to be.
Coming in at daylight throws me off.
Mm-hmm.
And so this feels a little more like, all right, now we're...
I like coming in before the sun comes up because at heart it makes me feel like a farmer. I'm up before the sun, doggone it. We're going to get stuff done today.
That's right. And I ate a strawberry Pop-Tart, so I'm really a farmer.
That's right.
Well, happy Tuesday,
yes,
everybody. Welcome to it.
I saw something this morning that I've never seen in my entire life before.
Yeah?
And I'm kind of jealous.
Okay.
Because I found maybe the coolest job on the planet.
Really?
So as I'm coming in this morning, there's one of those, like it's like a fire department colors, so it's like the fire department, but it's the service trucks, you know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
Kind of the smaller, more pickup looking trucks.
Yeah.
Just cruising around, and they're cruising like 5 miles an hour along the curbs of the road.
Uh-huh.
And there's one dude, I have no idea what was happening. I don't know what he was doing. I'm not sure what the purpose of this was, but he's just hanging out the passenger window with this like gun, and he's like shooting these like smoke, like blasts of smoke into the curb, like into the road. I'm assuming like pest control or maybe some kind of like water.
First time I've seen
I
that
don't
one.
know,
Yeah.
but it's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm like, I want to do that for a living. I just want to cruise around, hanging out the passenger side of a car and just shooting smoke at the road whenever I see fit. Like, there was no rhyme or reason to it. He was just like, he'd like drive, blast, drive, blast. I'm like, that is the coolest thing in the world, and I have no idea what you're doing.
I'm a curb smoker.
I'm sure there's a purpose. I'm sure it's like to control the town's mouse population or something. But
yeah, I've never seen that before.
The coolest. That right there, that's up there with that guy that's got that big blade on the conveyor belt at the Blue Bunny factory, and he gets to cut the ice cream open and take the little spoon and scoop out to try it. Those two jobs, that's all I ever want to do in life.
Yeah.
Shoot smoke out of a passenger side of a car and scoop ice cream out of a cut half-gallon of ice cream.
Yeah.
Those are awesome jobs.
That and the Beermeister guy where he just walks around and takes like a drink out of every big vat every day. Yeah, that could be a good job, too.
That always cracks me up, though, because the guy that cuts the ice cream up, it's like you have a whole half-gallon of ice cream, and you take this giant blade and you slice the carton open. You take the tiniest little spoon, and you scoop little scoop out of it and try it, just to make sure it's quality.
Quality control.
What happens to the rest of the ice cream?
Maybe the workers get to eat it.
I assume, or they toss it. I don't know.
Probably toss it.
It's like the best break room in
I'm
the
sure
history
the little spoon guy gets so sick of eating ice cream.
Oh, sure. I'm sure he does, but, you know.
You think, like, he walks into a Baskin Robbins and they hand him a sample spoon and he gets PTSD?
He goes, did y'all hear what happened to that Baskin Robbins? That dude went nuts as soon as they handed him a tiny spoon. Guy lost his mind.
It was Rocky Road, but man. Bit of an overreaction. Well, I see they arrested
Yes.
The guy that's been accused of the shooting in Walmart there.
Okay, I'm not going to get into speculation or...
It sounds like a whole lot of stupid.
Everything I've heard of this is the guy was on the clock.
Yeah.
When he did this.
From what the police released, it was basically saying the guy that's accused of doing the shooting is an 8-year-old Walmart employee.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess he was working his shift when he saw the other guy and then a girlfriend or something, a 19-year-old, and they had words. I guess they saw each other in the store, had words, and then the one went and got the gun out of the backpack and really literally was chasing him around the store shooting him, and then finally got him. And also basically one life's gone and another life's ruined. And a second life, I'm sure,
gathered
too, there.
he was a father of...
And I'm going to guess it was all over something really stupid.
Of course.
Really, really stupid. So,
it always is. I mean, honestly, we say something really stupid. What isn't stupid in the realm of somebody lost their life because of it?
But I mean, something
everything
that
seems insignificant to that.
A conversation probably could have resolved.
Oh,
or at least...
Agreed.
At least as people, as people, got to get your mind right, man, because you start one little thing like this, and next thing you know, your life's over, or your life's ruined, or you've ruined someone else's life.
Right.
You gotta wake up. You gotta be smarter about this. You gotta get in control of your emotions. You can't be running around doing this kind of stuff. You're gonna ruin your life, someone else's, and here, this is the proof right here.
Right.
That whole thing that happened in Walmart is proof that I could tell you. Please get in control of your emotions. Get checked. If you're that angry that you're wanting to shoot people on a drop of a hat, we need to get you some help real quick, because what's going on there, this is the world we live in now, and people need to get their heads right. So anyway, I didn't want to dwell on that, but just saying, it's just a sad thing that the more details that come out, the sadder it just sounds to me. It's like, man, this could have been easily avoided. But
I was waiting for you to say, and these were the hands we're given. You said, this is the world we live in.
It is the world we live in.
These are the hands we're given.
Whoa.
Use them and let's stop fighting.
Whoa.
I forgot the rest of the words of the song.
I know the whoa part.
Something and that's worth dying for. I don't know. But the point is, this is the world that we live in. And yes, we need to figure out, how to live, how to co-live, how to cohabitate.
Yeah. It's just, you hate to be in a world where you're like, I just want to go to the store and get some dog food, and this happens. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. So, let me give you the rundown. We do have a full slate for you for today's show. Song got popular again.
Yeah, they do this on purpose. The person who does this listens, and she's like, "Oh, I want to blow your phone up right now." We're on to your games.
Your reindeer games.
Right. He's like, oh, I can hear myself texting in real time.
So, to give you the rundown here, we're going to replay our interview this hour with Chaves County Manager Bill Williams. He joined us yesterday in the 8 o'clock hour to more preview the upcoming county commission meeting this week and a little bit of a review of the last county commission meeting. So we'll play that for you here in just a bit. Amy McVeigh from the Historical Society will join us at 8:15. We got some reservations left for the Heritage Dinner coming up, but not many. So last chance to get in on that. Later on in the hour, about 8:45, we're going to have the folks from the Chaves County Extension Office join us. Now that the fair is over, they might be taking a breath here. Of course, now Tamara and them are gearing up for kitchen creations and all that too. So.
There is no rest.
And
time.
their big holiday booklet and big thing they do that's coming up too here. So we got all that going on. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, I'm going to replay our interview I had. The ladies from the Chaves County Federated Republican Women joined us last week, Janine Best and Margaret Kennard, and previewing their meeting, which is actually tomorrow, the next meeting tomorrow. And then we just talk about what they do. So we'll play that here in the 9 o'clock hour.
Very good.
Plus, we'll have all of your features that include the news of the local and national variety, Wall Street Business, Town Hall, other stuff, and all the other features and that whatnot. Saw the Cowboys game last night, and Cowboys look good. I say they looked better than I thought they were going to be last night for some reason. I thought they were going to be. I thought San Diego was going to be better, but I was wrong. All right, it is 7:15. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have high pressure covering all of the southwestern states, and that'll hang around for the next few days. No rain coming up for a while. Fairly comfortable on those daytime highs. We'll stay in the mid-80s today. Lots of sun, and the wind should be fairly light. Mid-50s and clear for the overnight hours. We'll move into the upper 80s for the afternoon high on Wednesday and sunny. Back to the low 80s and fair Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 49 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 59% with winds out of the northwest at 3 miles per hour. Sunny today, highs in the mid-80s, 86 officially for a high today with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear tonight with an overnight low of 55 degrees, south winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, looking at a high of 87 under sunny skies tomorrow. West winds 5 to 10 in the morning. 10 to 15 miles per hour for Wednesday afternoon. Tomorrow night, clear skies with an overnight low of 51 degrees. Northeast winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny and a high of 82. North winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny, back up with a high of 87. And then looking at the weekend, looking warm as well. Saturday, mostly sunny, high of 88. Sunny on Sunday and a high of 89. So looks like we'll be lingering in the mid-80s, mid to upper 80s, with the exception of that 82 on Thursday there. So, but pretty warm and mostly nice for this week. All right, it is 7:16. We're going to take a 4.5-minute break. We'll have your Roswell Livestock Report recap of Smiley Wooten. Quick break, and then we're going to play our interview with Chaves County Manager Bill Williams on the other side. Don't go away.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 2008 head of cattle sold on Monday on an uneven market with an excellent buyer attendance compared to last week. Stocker calves sold 3 to 5 lower, feeder cattle 2 to 3 higher, packer cows and bulls sold steady to $5 higher. 3 to 400 pound steers $317, $321, 3 to 400 pound heifers $376, $284, 4 to 500 pound steers $278, $321, 4 to 500 pound heifers $247.50, $276, 5 to 600 pound steers $253, $278, 5 to 600 pound heifers $233, $247.50, 6 700 pound steers $241, $253, 6 700 pound heifers $229, $233, 7 800 pound steers $235, $241, 7 800 pound heifers $195, $229, packer cows $95, $107, canner and cutter cows $77 to $87, packer bulls $108, $122, feeder bulls $85, $95, top half the cow calf pairs $1,400 to $1,775 per pair, top half the bred cows $1,500 to $1,925 per head. We do appreciate the business. We'll talk to you next Monday morning. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Rosa, have you decided where you're going to college yet?
There's so many choices. I'm still not sure.
Well, I've decided to attend the University of New Mexico. It's the only Research One university in the state. It's the flagship, and their academic programs are among the best in the nation.
The University of New Mexico? Can I still apply?
Of course. UNM is New Mexico's best university, and residents of New Mexico get preference in admission. Apply now, and we'll attend UNM together.
The University of New Mexico, New Mexico's University of Opportunity. Apply today at unm.edu.
Let the autumn fun begin at the Artesia Arts Council's 48th Annual Art in the Park, Friday, October 20th, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturday, October 21st, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. at JC Park in Artesia. Stroll through the park and find unique items from many fine arts and craft vendors, food trucks, live music, and more. Buy a chance to win a cake at the Artesia High Band Cakewalk, an annual tradition at Art in the Park. Bring the whole family to this fun fall event. Art in the Park, Friday, October 20th, and Saturday, October 21st at JC Park, 1710 South 26th Street in Artesia. Paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
Are you ready to make a real difference in your community? Introducing the New Mexico Army National Guard. Serve your community with pride and become a part-time hero. Join our dedicated team and enjoy the adventure of a lifetime. Get full-time benefits without sacrificing your current career or education. When disaster strikes and your community needs assistance, you'll be there to lend a helping hand. So don't miss out on the opportunity to receive education, adventure, and financial stability, all while serving your country. Get started by visiting our website, nationalguard.com/NM.
This October, Artesia General Hospital is here to help you take charge of your breast health. About 1 in 8 women in the U.S. will develop breast cancer. Understanding your family history and getting screened can help lower your risk and lead to early detection. They're pleased to offer advanced 3D mammography, providing increased early detection, more accurate results, and enhanced comfort. Don't wait. Request your mammogram today. Women over 40 don't need a physician's referral to schedule their annual screening. Visit artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters.
Good morning. It is 25 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us officially now in studio, Chaves County Manager Bill Williams with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. It was quite interesting to
listen
to the banter this morning.
Yeah, he gets a front row seat to Sean and I's dumbness sometimes. So, but of course, it's been a little bit since we've seen you. So, of course, you were last month. You got it. Just the schedule of your meetings and things didn't kind of work out for our schedule here.
Well, last month I started the commission meeting, and then as soon as I took care of my items, I excused myself and I drove to Dallas for our second stop 30 by 30 land grab summit. We had one last year in Nebraska, and we had the second one in Dallas. This year, I'll talk a little bit about that.
So you had like an overnight bag with you as you were finishing up that meeting.
It was a couple of days down in Dallas.
Yeah.
And, time well spent, I think. And then I'm going on vacation. I've never ridden a train. My wife and I decided,
good for you,
we're going to hop on the train and go see my sister. And
very good for
she's
you.
in California, but I promise I won't bring any of their stuff back.
Well, nice. They're going to take the train out there.
Yeah. I'll go make sure that my sister's conservative values are still in place, and make sure that she's part of the problem in California.
Is it Southern California or Northern California?
She's in Southern California.
Okay. Yeah, that's a more liberal side of the state.
Yeah, she's one of those that doesn't agree with the things that their governor does, and so I just have to go give her some more ammunition and let them fight.
We're used to that here in this part of our world too. We live in a place where we don't agree with our governor necessarily. So you probably look very familiar territory.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Do you train out? Do you leave out of Albuquerque or?
I'm going to leave out of Lamy. We decided that to leave your vehicle in the middle of nowhere south of Santa Fe is probably safer than to leave it in a secure parking lot in Albuquerque.
You know what? That's a true statement. So I agree.
I did find something of note when we were looking at the train, and that it picks you up in Lamy, not Santa Fe. So I started reviewing a little bit of the history of the AT and SFRY. The Santa Fe Railroad doesn't actually go through Santa Fe because they started building it. That was going to be the hub, and they decided that the terrain was just a little too difficult for them to get all the way to Santa Fe. So they came south through Lamy, which is just a few miles away from Santa Fe.
Sure.
But the actual train station's in Lamy, and then they put a spur line later after the line was connected going up to Santa Fe because the cost was just too much and they needed to get it completed. So the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railroad didn't originally go through Santa Fe.
Interesting.
I thought that was really interesting.
You think Lamy would be kind of like they feel like they got the short end of the straw? It's like, why don't we get some attention here? We're the railroad place.
The Atchison, Topeka, and Lamy Railroad.
You ain't going to Santa Fe.
Yeah.
You're going to Lamy.
That's
But
right.
anyway, another story for another day.
Yeah, we'll have to research that.
Yeah, it'd be kind of interesting.
But we're going to do something a little different. Instead of talking about what the commissioners approved, we're going to talk about what they're going to talk about.
All right.
So this will be a little different. But before we do that,
because the commission meeting is coming up for this month.
Yes, it's coming up on Thursday.
Yes.
And so Friday morning, I'll be
back.
I'll be heading on the train to.
Oh, that's right. You'll be on the train,
west.
so we're going to miss you this time.
So that's why.
We're doing a preview instead of a review.
Yeah. Perfect, man. This alliteration, that's why you're in radio. You're so good
pay
at
me
it.
the big bucks.
But if it's all right, I'd like to talk a minute about our Dallas-Fort Worth trip to the 30 by 30 conference.
Yeah,
So,
what's some of the stuff you learned from that?
So as you know, the 30 by 30 land grab, the group that we're participating with coined that term land grab almost immediately, and so they've changed the name of it now to America the Beautiful. Because who could be against America the Beautiful?
That's right. It's kinder, gentler, and
yes.
family friendly.
Kinder, gentler land grab.
That's right.
So there is a push. Just days into the presidency, the new administration came up with Executive Order 14,008, which was to conserve 30% of America's lands and waters by the year 2030. So that's a mere 7 years off.
I thought we're already doing that.
Well, they're working on it, yes.
Weren't we already on top of what we already said we're going to do before we said we're going to do it?
Well, and that's the whole thing. New Mexico has 47% of New Mexico is either state or federal lands.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the lands they want. They want 30%
additional
lands.
on top of what they already
and
took.
The 17 western states, of course, have a very large amount of BLM lands anyway. Bureau of Land Management, other federal lands, just the way the United States. I'm reading a really interesting book about that. And as I learn more about it, maybe I'll talk more about it. But right now I'm going to just study. The lands back east, there are very few federal lands, except for forest lands and maybe some national parks.
Yeah.
Other than that, you don't have BLM.
The East Coast is way different. It's a lot more stacked up, not spread out. And like you said, and unless it's like an old battlefield, it's probably not federal land or D.C.
It's a national park or a wildlife refuge, and that's pretty much what they have back there.
Yeah.
But those are the people who are dictating what we do in the West and how we use our federal lands. Oh, no drilling for oil on federal lands. No grazing of those evil cattle that fart and ruin the atmosphere.
The Fiji on the East Coast, by the way.
The Fiji on the East Coast. So anyway, that's a big part of the problem. But and our New Mexico governor, she got right on board and did an executive order that says not only 30% of New Mexico's land and water by the year 2030, but we want an additional 20% in the state of New Mexico. So she wants 50% of New Mexico tied up out of private ownership by the year 2030. And like I say, we've already got 47%. So what's the plan here? Are we going to
remember that thing about government control again? This is how they do it.
And government controlling people.
This is exactly how they do it.
So,
and we let them, so this is how it happens.
So this came out at the beginning of the administration that's started to say in control in Washington, but I'm not sure they're in control of much of anything.
In charge.
In charge. There you go. So anyway, they came forward and said, we want 30% of the lands and water. Well, this is actually a worldwide effort. And the real goal is 50% of the world's lands and waters need to be set aside in their permanent natural state, conserved, to stop global warming. Okay, well, and almost immediately companies came out and started vying for the management rights of these lands that are set aside. Wait a minute, they're set aside in their permanent natural state. What is there to manage if it's just going to be a wilderness area?
Yeah, you're supposed to let it do its thing.
And as everyone knows, if there's a wilderness area, there's no multiple use on wilderness areas.
No.
Very limited access, no motorized vehicles. If you take your pack mule in there, you have to pay for grazing. Well, you can't graze in this spot except in certain places. So I mean, there's a lot of issues with lands in their permanent natural state. Subsequently, BLM has proposed a conservation rule, which trumps the multiple use rule. So grazing, agriculture of any kind, timber harvest, mineral extraction, all of that stuff would fall in a lesser favorable category than conservation. But we can put windmills and we can put solar farms and all those things.
Even though they do just as much damage to the environment.
Or more, as it's coming out. It's starting to show what's going on. So anyway, we did this a year or so ago in Nebraska. Governor Ricketts, at the time, I believe he's a senator now, started with some legislation to fight this. We have someone asked at our meeting in Dallas, oh my gosh, this is so far along. What are we going to do? How are we going to stop this? What's going on? You should have been here last year when there was only one or two items actually in place trying to stop this horrible government overreach. And now we have multiple avenues of people working in Washington and through their individual states trying to put the brakes on in this and raise awareness of what's going on. So every time we dedicate another 100,000 acres to a national park, we need to look at what the objective actually is. The recent one a couple of weeks ago in Arizona, that covers up the uranium reserves. So there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. We're picking and choosing lands to stop America from being America,
Well, and you
depending
wonder-
on other countries. And then you come to the government, as you mentioned a minute ago, with your hand out.
Yeah.
People are being prepared. Everybody's getting to the point where I want the government to give me something, give me something, give me something. As they take away your land and your private property rights, you'll be in line with them too, begging them to give you something.
Yeah, you get there and get it to be the mouse, begging for a little piece of cheese there from not giving you ability to go get your own cheese.
Well, I quickly want to cover what we talked about in Dallas, and then I'll move on because I don't want this to be the conspiracy theory show.
Well, you already heard me on a high horse today, and I'm easily stirred up. So
I hope that people will look into this on their own and
Absolutely.
develop their own opinions, because my opinion's my opinion, and
the world's being pulled out from under you, and you guys are going to let it happen if you don't do something about it.
So we went to Dallas and we talked more about the 30 by 30 and the things we can do to stop the 30 by 30. But my whole life, when I was a kid, I remember watching the evening news back when Morley Safer and Chet Huntley and all those guys were on there, and you'd see lines in Russia, and you thank God I live in America where that'll never happen here. Fast forward 40, 50 years, and what's happened? There's people standing in line, the grocery stores are empty, and we aren't there yet, but as the government takes more and more control, we'll see what happens. Are you trying to make it look like the cows are the problem?
Yeah, you look as people that lived and grew up in the 80s,
right?
And that was what that was the Russia, seeing all of what was going on in Russia and the Soviet Union at that time, and seeing, and that was the thing. Yeah, they show us that, look, this is what communism is. It's people not, and people on Earth now have not seen that,
right?
And they don't realize what we're going back. That like what we're seeing in the world now is taking us to what we used to see in the 80s in Russia, and that's a scary thing. And the world is going, and we're just letting it happen. So you need to wake up and do something about this.
My whole life, I've looked at these crazy things that are happening from our political leadership and things that happen in Congress, and you say, how can seemingly intelligent people? I mean, they're not all idiots. There may be a few.
Yeah.
And I'm talking in every party. There's a few idiots, but seemingly intelligent people, how can they do things that are so obviously wrong for America, that hurt us all, and just continually do it, and smile, and
well, you know what?
And ask for your vote again.
It's one of these, and I'm getting philosophical, but like when I was younger, when I was in my 20s and things like that, and we're learning about Hitler and what was going on during the World War II era, and that was one of the things that I always had trouble wrapping my head around as a younger person. How could a whole country of people be duped by his agenda and his everything? And of course, now I sit, 30 years later, and I'm like, oh, now I can totally see how Germany flipped, because it's what's happening now in the world here with what we're seeing and doing. It's slowly eroding, and that's what Hitler did in the he went to prison, and in the 30s he was building and basically got the side of the people on his side leading up to him taking over and everything. And by the time he's in power, he had a whole army of people thinking he was the change.
And then people started saying, oh my gosh, what am I involved in? But by then it was too late.
Exactly.
And that's kind of where we found that this 30 by 30 is a part of a much bigger thing that's been going on. It's been going on for years. I believe it started in about 1978. Now, I missed that part of it. However, in 1992 in Brazil, world leaders from the United Nations met, and they came up with something called Agenda 21. Agenda 21 has 17 different things that have to be done by the 21st century to make us all sing Kumbaya together as a world government.
Gotcha.
And as soon as I found out about that and found out what those 17 things were, and each of the 17 have 4 subcategories. If you do these things, this will happen. Okay. 1, you've got to let the government take over the farming and ranching and agriculture.
Here we go.
You've got to take away the private land so that people will do what you want.
Seeing that happen.
Move people to cities and away from the country so that you can control what they do.
That's what they're trying to do.
There's a whole litany of things that have been going on. And I say to myself, I've been trying to figure out how seemingly intelligent people can do this, even tried to put myself in their shoes, and this still doesn't make sense for America. this is obviously bad for our nation. Then I found out about Agenda 21. This happened in 1992. I found a map that shows what their idea of America would look like, and this was done by the United Nations in 1992. We've been involved. We've been full in with this thing. Shame on me, because I thought everyone else was like me in America. We look at our country, we do anything. It's kind of like brothers and sisters. We might fight amongst ourselves, but you outside folks, you need to leave us alone.
Exactly.
We'll come after you. Well, so right under our noses, this stuff has been happening for decades. And we start seeing what those 17 things are, and you say, wait a minute, I remember when that happened in 1984. I remember when that happened in 1992. Remember that thing in 2000? That's all part of this Agenda 21. It's been going on for years. And so I don't have anybody to blame but myself, because everybody else wasn't looking at America the same way we are. They bought in, just like you said, like people did in Nazi Germany, into a system, and then by the time they found out about it, it was too late.
Yeah.
So this Agenda 21 popped up on our radar. It started showing how the land grab fit right in amongst all these other things. So I encourage people to look up Agenda 21 and see just how awful and evil that is for America. The things that we're seeing now are very much a part of this thing that started back in, it's scary stuff. But I don't want to make your whole show about that.
Well, now it's one of these things where we, the people, need to wake up. If you want America to be the America you know it, you've got to do your part to ensure that. Vote, inform yourself, vote accordingly, and do that.
Back then, they were already talking about get rid of oil and gas, go to alternative energy, green energy stuff. And they've controlled the media. All these things are a part of the whole big scenario, and it's some awful, scary stuff. And and like I say, shame on me, because I was too patriotic to notice what was going on right under my own nose.
And that's like the whole electric car thing to me is that case in point on that. Look, I think 99% of people here were like, look, I'll go an electric car, sure, if you can make it as the same cost as the gas engine and gives me the same performance as the gas engine. If you could match that, people would line up to buy that thing.
Right.
Problem is it doesn't, but they keep telling you it's going to be, and it's better and this, and to be honest, the way emissions are on brand new cars and things, they're not putting out emissions and things. The only things you see that put out smoke are older, beat-up cars that don't have some of the modern technology. There's so many emission standards on modern cars. They're not really the big problem that people think they are. It's the older cars and things like that.
Well, and when America puts all the restrictions against our industrialists for smoke and control of all this, we can't have coal power plants, even though they're our coal power plants in America are among the cleanest.
Well, that's just it.
Ways to produce energy.
Natural disasters.
Then you let countries like China build all the lithium batteries and the parts that you need for every car that you drive, whether it's a Ford, a Chevy, a Chinese brand or whatever.
All these
they're
folks
making all those parts, and they aren't following the EPA.
Yeah.
So the little bit of fumes that your car puts out is probably minimized greatly by the amount of pollution that goes up in China and India and those countries that get away with it.
Absolutely. Yeah, you need to go to...
And we're buying that stuff because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Well, it's cheaper because they don't have to follow the same rules
well, and
we
this,
do.
This is the logic of idiots around here. They think if they buy it from there that it's going green because it wasn't made here. I was like, it was just as dirtily made there. And it's like United States could do everything exactly right, and it won't matter a hill of beans if the rest of the world keeps doing what they're doing. Right. And that's the point, is you could sit here and yell at each other all you want about making, and we do try to do that. But guess what? We're not the polluters. We're not the problems. Go China. These countries that are making all your things for you, these are the ones where there's all the pollution and going on, and it's impacting the world. And that's it. It's no different than the Geneva Convention in military. Sure, the military people, we abide by the rules. Guess what? Your Hamases, they do not.
They don't.
And that's why we say the things we say.
And the United Nations, are they our friends? I'm not certain that they are. But but we join the ranks, and we're upholding our
To
end
be
and
honest,
expecting them all to be.
There
as
would
good
not
as
be
we
a
are.
United Nations if we walked
If
away
we
from
walked
it.
away from it, exactly.
Yep.
And it's scary stuff. The open borders, all that stuff is part of this Agenda 21. And
yeah, we're trying to
please-
get worldized into the world order kind of thing. And
Please look that up before
Yeah.
it's too late. You know, I hate to say this, but I'm in the latter part of my life. I hope that it doesn't progress to where I have to see it, but I hate that my children or grandchildren will be a part of it.
Well, this
So-
country is really created to show the world how to do it. And
Right.
now that we're the best in the world at it, people want to knock us down and take what we have.
and pretend they're our friends while they help us knock it down.
And they're all saying, "Oh, so we can make the whole world like this," and that's not what they're trying to do. Why do you, if it was the case, why do you see the rest of the world not looking like us and looking like a darker version of themselves?
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Right.
You know, get your head out of your butts and pay attention.
You watch all these movies where there's this dystopian future, and you always wonder. I used to wonder, why do they think that 50 years in the future, 100 years in the future, there's not going to be any cars? It's going to just be a bunch of tumbleweeds. There's no power. People are all hobos in the streets. That's pretty much starting to come into focus now, because they're going to destroy all the infrastructure and everything that we need to make it.
And I think Americans should, they always say something about stints in the military and all that. I'm like, no, not everybody should be in the military. But I think every American should see how the other shoe lives, how the other foot goes, because I guarantee the people that were sitting and doing and complaining in the streets of their blue hair and doing all that have not spent 1 minute in another country dealing with something like this whole Hamas thing, and then these lesbians and stuff defending Hamas. I'm like, do you even realize if you set one toe in the Gaza Strip with your hair doing what you're doing, would they be out here supporting you? And I'm telling you, you'd be hanging up on a lamppost somewhere out there.
Wow. Well, I guess we better get to the
I know.
agenda. I know
people need to wake up. They are supporting the dumbest things.
So at this month's commission meeting, but before I go into that, let me mention one thing that we did at last month's commission. Last month's commission meeting was mostly just kind of housekeeping stuff. That happens from time to time. We did approve the tax rates, which come from Santa Fe, but the assessor has to impose, or the commission has to tell the assessor to impose the tax rates on the county, which we did that. So that's an important thing, but it is just a housekeeping thing, because we don't create those tax rates. They come from Santa Fe, but it was done.
Right.
But probably the best thing that we did last month was we did a proclamation for Larry Hobson, who spent his life dedicated to the kids at the fair.
We had another great fair, and we really
did.
honoring Larry Hobson and his family, and it was a huge success. I hope folks got to see the Blue Ferris wheel when you're out there.
That was really
in
cool,
honor of
wasn't
Larry
it?
Hobson. Yeah.
But we did our proclamation for Larry, and they had it hung up there at the fair, and we're really proud of that. This month we also lost a couple of other fine community leaders. We're going to do a proclamation for Rudy Barola, who was a big part of our local Boys and Girls Club for many, many years. We're going to do a proclamation acknowledging all the good that he did. Another one was Hubert Quintana, was former Chaves County manager. He was Chaves County manager for about 8 years. And the little bit of research that I did a couple of years ago, there was a period of about 10 years where a county manager would stay for a year and a half, 2 years. County manager stay for a year and a half, 2 years. The other one would come back for a year and a half. They'd be gone again in another 2 years. And finally,
little musical chairs there.
Finally, they got Hubert, and Hubert stayed there for 8 years. Hubert's responsible for the modifications during his time. They modified the Chaves County Courthouse. They built the administrative center south of town. So as you know, our courthouse,
that was under his watch.
Right.
Very good.
We had been in the courthouse over 100 years, or not quite 100 years at that time, but we had been in the Chaves County Courthouse for many, many, many years. It had served us well. He says, time to build a new facility. They built a facility. Yeah. They sold the hospital during his watch, built a facility down south, and then came back and remodeled the courthouse. So I think that we're in good shape as far as being able to house the Chaves County
we have
government
great facilities
for many, many years. And
he was a big hand in that. So,
and other than a few small buildings along the way, we hadn't really done any kind of building of that nature. We're starting to now. We're working on.
I was
health
say you're kind of
department,
moving into a project here where it's getting low.
We're working on the health department. Of course, we bought a new building that will house the cooperative extension service once we get it remodeled. And
but then again, this is also a part of his heritage, because with him being responsible for the building on the south, it's kind of created that county district. With the weather buildings in that area too.
It has, yeah. He was a big part of our county when he retired from Chaves County. He didn't stop working. He continued to work and continued to work for not only our community but multiple communities throughout. I started to say southeastern New Mexico, but it's really all of New Mexico. He was the executive director of make sure I say this right, the Southeastern New Mexico Economic Development District.
That is a mouthful.
and he spent many, many, many hours lobbying in Santa Fe, talking to legislators, trying to free up legislative capital outlay that helped all the towns, Eunice, Jowl, Roswell, Hobbs, Lovington, Roswell, and then the counties. Chaves County, we owe a huge debt to him for speaking on our behalf, having an open door to everybody in Santa Fe and going up and saying, hey, our people need a new building down here. We need a new road. We need whatever the case is. And he would go in and speak up for us. So we will do a proclamation for Hubert as well as Rudy Barola.
Nice.
Between the two of those guys, I mean, we lost a lot in Chaves, and of course Larry.
Some means you might be a little bit more popular meeting on Friday, because usually when we do proclamations like that, we get a lot of friends and family and folks that have long time been calling this county home want to come out and support that.
Yeah. We just want to give credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
We have another one that's going to be on, and I didn't put it up front as a proclamation. I didn't want to have them all up front, so we'll do one at the end, and that's for the National Nurse Practitioner Week.
Okay.
They reached out to me last month and asked if we could do that. It's coming up in November, and so we want to be sure that we're ready to acknowledge that.
Absolutely.
For the upcoming month.
And we the patients love our nurses. The doctors love them.
My nose is dripping this morning. The change in weather.
Yeah, allergies get me every time too. But our doctors, they can't do what they do without the nurses making them look good. That's what they do. So.
The nurses. When I was a child, and Shep was a pup. You'd go to a place and the nurse would get you seated and everything, and the doctor did everything. It's turned.
Yeah.
I mean, the doctor comes in, spends 2 minutes with you,
and the nurse is doing all the legwork.
Doing everything.
The
and now with nurse practitioners and whatnot, they do.
Especially if you're doing like
more
surgery and stuff now, like if you get colonoscopies and stuff. Your doctor, your surgeon, you only see them surgery day. Most of the other time, you're dealing with the nurse practitioner, who's kind of guiding you through the whole process.
Yeah, again, unsung heroes of everybody's community. They're really something. But we did that. Let's see, where was I headed with that? We're going to. It's not really a proclamation; it's a resolution. But I assume that the commission will approve once again the Operation Green Light for Veterans. As you recall, last November, the
green light bulbs. We painted or lit up the courthouse lawn green,
illuminated our courthouse and our building down south as well. We put the green lights on them in honor of veterans and all that they've done for our nation.
That's why the domes are green for veterans. I'm just kidding.
There you go.
But we'll go with that this month.
We'll go with it.
The domes are green for the veterans.
But, when we bought those lights, they bought some LED lights that you flip a switch and they kind of change colors. So, just for fun, the facility maintenance crew switches the colors on them once in a while.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting, but all the month of November, we'll make sure that our buildings are lit up green.
Good deal.
And we don't normally light the one on the south end, except during November.
During November month.
And we want to just really, we won't have a big presentation as we did last time, where we had recognized members of all the different armed services and everything on the courthouse lawn. This time it's strictly lighting the courthouse green. So
just reminding our folks as November, Veterans Day, November, and just kind of reminding folks to appreciate our veterans out there and the role they play to protect our country.
So we also had 2 public hearings, and as you know, before you can do a public hearing, you have to advertise it appropriately.
At least like 37 times.
So at last month's meeting, we got permission to publish for 2 public hearings. This month's meeting, we had 2 public hearings.
Nice.
And they were for ordinances. Now see if you can follow me on this. This is government in action. So we have an ordinance at Chaves County, Ordinance 088, which allows us to do economic development projects.
Okay.
It has all the stipulations how we can assist an entity that's going to bring jobs and profits to our county. So that's in place. And then when we enter into an agreement with someone, we pass another resolution. So I've got one for USA Beef and one for Ascent Aviation. So USA Beef was Ordinance 097.
Okay.
And that was so that we could have a project participation agreement between USA Beef, Chaves County, and then we have an IGA, an intergovernmental agreement between Chaves County and the state of New Mexico, so that we can take the funds that the state of New Mexico wants to give to USA Beef. They have to give them to USA Beef through us, and so we have to have a mechanism to do that.
Nice. All right.
So USA Beef completed all the terms of their original agreement. Their agreement was for 54 employees, and as they met certain milestones, we would give them a portion of the money that was set aside for them.
Okay.
And the monies from Santa Fe, the LEDA money, Local Economic Development Act monies, were for construction of their facility, so they could improve their ability to process beef, and they process several different kinds of meat out there. They're an amazing place. If you've not been there, see if you can get a tour, because it's awesome. I don't know if they give tours because it's such a surgically clean place, but
kind of
oh
like
my
the cheese
gosh,
plant.
it is something. So because they met all the requirements of Ordinance 097, we needed to pass Ordinance 0113 to repeal Ordinance 097, which was empowered by 088. So 3 ordinances. So we did 2 public hearings. One was to repeal the ordinance which established our project with USA Beef, because they completed all the milestones.
Right.
The second one was to repeal the ordinance that we had to put into place a project participation agreement with Ascent Aviation Services, but for quite a different reason, because they did not fulfill all the requirements that were required to receive the monies. And so as a part of that, the state had sent monies to Chaves County to dole out at the appropriate times to Ascent Aviation Services to offset their lease payments, because they were going to build a new building. And so as they met milestones for personnel, for jobs, and they have to be certain good paying jobs. I mean, it can't just be going to hire 87 minimum
If you're going to get
jobs.
incentivized, you're going to really give us something for that incentive. Yeah.
And so when they reach certain benchmarks for employment, then we would give them a chunk of money that they could offset their lease payments with. That didn't happen, and so we're going to have to send back the LEDA money to the state of New Mexico. And we needed to cross our T's, dot our I's, make sure that we had the backup documents showing why we took money out of our coffers and sent it to the state of New Mexico before the auditors get there.
Doing the legwork, paperwork for the same thing, but 2 different reasons. One, because all the obligations were met, and basically the agreement's done now.
Right.
Versus all the obligations weren't met, therefore the agreement's done now.
The agreement's done now. Exactly.
That's basically what happened. It's interesting. Okay.
So that was an interesting little thing that we had to do.
Interesting. But that's really neat, because that's really how government works. And we talk about, well, why do companies get incentivized for this and that? And this is the reason why, because they bring something to the table that's very beneficial. And so the county's like, well, we're going to reward you for that if you live up to your obligation.
Right.
And in one case, it's exactly what happened, and everything worked the way it's supposed to. And in one case, the 2 sides didn't, or one side did not live up to the agreements. Therefore, we need to get our money back.
Right. And send it back to the people that furnished the money too. That's the other piece of that.
That's how it works. So very interesting. Well, yeah, we are out of time. Is there anything we definitely want to make sure before you get to?
No, I covered the Operation Greenlight for veterans. We should have a fairly light meeting on Thursday. I don't expect anything real earth-shattering, earth-breaking or anything.
But it sounds like we're going to do some recognitions and stuff. So come on out and
that's the neat
do
part.
That stuff.
And
yeah.
I think I misspoke when I said the ordinances were passed. They aren't passed yet.
They
are
will
on
be.
The agenda.
The idea is to be passed.
Yeah,
on Thursday.
I don't see any reason why they would
Gotcha.
say, "Oh no."
Well, to see if they do get passed, you're more than welcome to come out. The meetings are open to the public. It'll be 9 a.m. Thursday morning at the county admin building. As soon as you walk through the main entrance, keep going forward. You'll hit the commission chambers.
Mm-hmm.
You'll bump right into the door, and then you go through it. Now you'll be in there. They usually also stream it if you go to the Chavez County Facebook page.
Right.
A lot of times they'll stream it live there too. So if you can't break away from the office, want to watch it, you can pick it up there too.
Right.
So. Good deal.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm sorry I've been off my schedule for a couple of times, but I think I'll be back on schedule next month.
And enjoy the family in California. It sounds like it'd be a nice time there. And maybe how much green chili do you have to mule back to her? Is she a green chili aficionado?
Yeah, I'm going to take an extra suitcase full of pecans and green chili and all the stuff that we get here that they wouldn't know.
They can't have in California.
Yeah.
They don't have the good versions of.
What do you call it? Poblano chilies or something?
Yeah.
Poblanos or something.
Whatever
they
your
have in
fancified.
California.
Yeah, whatever your fancy
two-syllable.
syllable.
Let's just get some good old New Mexico green
That's
chili.
right. We need
warm things
one
up.
syllable, green. That's all we need.
That's it.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
It is 9 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico.
Artesia General Hospital is here to help you take charge of your breast health. About 1 in 8 women in the U.S. will develop breast cancer. Understanding your family history and getting screened can help lower your risk and lead to early detection. They're pleased to offer advanced 3D mammography, providing increased early detection, more accurate results, and enhanced comfort. Don't wait. Request your mammogram today. Women over 40 don't need a physician's referral to schedule their annual screening. Visit artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
Honey, read this. Seems Councilman Barry Foster didn't pay his water bill for over 2 years, owing almost $2,000.
How? They would have cut his water off.
State mandates the water service couldn't be cut during COVID.
This says the Fosters make around $150,000 a year, and they refuse to pay their water bill?
Since Barry Foster's been on city council, city debt has tripled. With rising crime, he voted against hiring 5 new police officers.
And the city delayed vital repairs to our drinking water system. Now, repair costs have skyrocketed.
It's time for a change.
Change by voting for Carlos Marujo.
He's a supervisor at Eastern New Mexico U. Carlos knows how inflation impacts Roswell's working families.
Carlos Marujo will demand Roswell live within its means. He respects taxpayers.
We can't afford 16 years of Councilman Barry Foster.
Our Values PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising. Paid for by Our Values PAC. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
Asian Market brings the flavors of the East to Roswell. The market side has lots of new and different items, including new sauces and noodles to enhance your Asian dishes, plus new snacks and more. And the restaurant inside Asian Market has all Nook's favorites from 11 to 5, like wontons, egg drop, rice or noodle soup, crispy calamari, and the best barbecue fried rice in town. Dine in or call ahead for easy pickup. And find Asian Market on Facebook for updates on open times and specials.
Hi, this is Nok. Come see me at Asian Market, 5702 South Main in Roswell. Call 575-840-5309.
It's time to stock up on beef. Do it the most affordable way by buying a whole or half beef from Runyon Cattle. A whole beef feeds a family of 4 for nearly a year. Buy your meat in bulk for about $6 a pound. Skip the store and skip the wait lines. Beef isn't something that you should have to wait on. Stock up on New Mexico homegrown grass-fed and grass-finished beef today by calling Lisa with Runyon Cattle at 760-5655. That's 760-5655. Delivered to your home freezer.
So you think drinking alcohol can't hurt you? It'll mess you up big time. Say adios to large chunks of your brain. Major damage is already being done. Other parts of your body are getting wrecked too. Forget about sports, Forget about school. Forget about doing much of anything. Underage drinking freaks out your body, messes up your life.
Sponsored by the NMDOT.
Your home for Sean Hannity in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
And we're closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News up next. We'll be back on the other side of Town Hall News. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Biden travels to Israel tomorrow. The visit meant to demonstrate America's support for the Jewish state following the deadly Hamas attack and Israel's ongoing response.
Secretary of State Tony Blinken announced the president's scheduled visit after he held several hours of talks with Israel's prime minister and other top officials in Tel Aviv. Mr. Biden will use the trip this week to punctuate his declaration that America has Israel's back. While in the region, the president will also discuss the conflict with Arab leaders.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston says those additional talks will take place in Amman, Jordan. And ahead of the president's trip to Israel, New York's governor is visiting today.
Governor Hochul says in Israel she plans to meet with diplomatic leaders and communities devastated after the October 7th attack by Hamas militants on Israeli towns. During these difficult times, Hochul says in a statement it's more important than ever for New York to show up in support of Israel. New York has the largest percentage of Jews among all the U.S. states, according to the American Jewish Population Project. Julie Walker, New York.
Former President Trump says if he returns to the Oval Office, careful vetting of immigrants will also return and will weed out those with extremist anti-Semitic views. Mr. Trump spoke yesterday at a rally that was held in Iowa. We will find out in a couple of hours whether House Republicans are finally ready to elect a new Speaker of the House. Congressman Jim Jordan has been nominated for the post, and while his bid for the speakership has been gaining momentum recently, it is still not clear whether the Ohio Republican has all of the votes he needs to actually wield the speaker's gavel. On Wall Street this morning, the Dow is down 88 points, the Nasdaq off 162 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Police in Belgium have shot and killed a suspected Tunisian terrorist accused of killing 2 Swedish soccer fans in a brazen attack on a Brussels street before he disappeared into the night.
The gunman opened fire in a northern district of Brussels, shooting dead 2 people in the street with an automatic rifle. The suspect is reported to have fled the scene on a scooter. Belgium's Prime Minister Alexander De Croo described it as a harrowing act of terrorism and said the shooting had targeted Swedish nationals. The terror alert level for Brussels has been raised to 4, which is the highest level, and it means a threat could be imminent.
The BBC's Sophia Bettiza. India's top court has refused to legalize same-sex marriage, with the Chief Justice saying that it was up to Parliament to enact such a law. The 5-judge bench earlier this year heard 20 petitions that sought to legalize same-sex marriage. Townhall.com. The new diabetes drug, it seems to have a beneficial side effect for those who are seriously overweight.
Tirzepatide is an injected drug sold by Eli Lilly under the brand name Mounjaro. It was approved last year to treat diabetes, and now it's under fast-track review to treat obesity in the U.S. A new study published in the journal Nature Medicine compared two groups of people with complications from obesity who were not diabetic. After 3 months of intensive diet and exercise, both groups lost an average of 7% of their body weight. People who then started getting weekly injections of Mounjaro lost an additional 18.4% for an average total of 60 pounds over 16 months. Those receiving placebo shots gained an average of 6 pounds back. I'm Jennifer King.
Mourners in a heavily Palestinian Chicago suburb have paid respects to a 6-year-old Muslim boy fatally stabbed allegedly by his family's landlord. Police say the suspect was upset over the Israel-Hamas war. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to hour number 2.
The deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Welcome.
Is it? I've decided if it's gone quick or slow. Like,
it's Tuesday, man.
I know.
Calm down.
But I feel like it should be later in the week already.
It has been a very complicated few days. For you, absolutely.
No,
for me, for society in general.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody's just kind of hit that wall where we're just like, all right, can we have a break now, please? Can we just stop with the celebrating and the festivity? Just for a second, can we take a breath?
I just was like thinking, I was like, man, it's Tuesday. Feels like we got in the weekend tomorrow. What's going on? We got a football game tomorrow. Or something?
Feels like Blur's Day.
I just feel like everything's like just happened. So. But happy Tuesday. It is in fact confirmed only Tuesday today.
The two-est of all the days, I've been told.
Yes. Taco Tuesday for me. Although I think my wife eats tacos every day but Tuesday.
Really?
Yeah, she's a taco every day but Tuesday.
A taco rebel?
Because, she had for dinner. I was at a meeting. She had tacos.
Nice.
Every time I go to a meeting, she has tacos.
It's like, hey, Mike, you got a meeting? I'm going to have some tacos.
Right.
I'm working on my Kim impression.
Weirdly enough, all my meetings are during the day on Tuesday, so at night, no tacos.
No tacos. I scheduled them all on one day this year, honey.
So it's just very funny because like Friday nights, I'm always here working or whatever. So what I'm always having every Friday night. And I'm like, there's other places, you can get other foods besides tacos. You're like, no, I'll eat tacos.
Yeah, but why? Yes, there's other foods, but there's also tacos.
Yeah.
So why? Why venture out?
I'm one of those people that I am not native to this land. I come from the East Coast. I am that way with seafood.
Sure.
Like over the weekend, we hit like one day. I was like, let's do the Red Lobster. Let's go hit. And
ooh,
it's so sad because growing up, Red Lobster. No. That's like going to Taco Bell for you tacos.
Right.
Okay.
Right. But you know what, Mike? We live in Roswell, New Mexico. All right. It's all we have.
Right. But now I'm like, let me get on my suit. We're going to Red Lobster. So,
let me get my cracking club.
Right. Hold on. I got to get my good bib. And then, so I had that. And then the next day I was like shopping at the grocery store, and I was like, ooh, there's a sale on some seafood here. And sure enough, guess what I had Sunday? Seafood.
I'm sorry, but the idea of on-sale seafood bothers me.
You ain't wrong in Roswell, New Mexico.
Right.
All of these are red flags in the real world. But when you're a seafood addict and you're in a landlocked state, you live on the edge sometimes.
Sure. I just always get a little concerned when I go to Albertsons and I see buy one, get 2 free packs of tilapia. I'm like, okay, but what's wrong with it? What was this fish like? Did it run in bad circles?
I
Did it make
remember
bad decisions. What happened?
This reminds me of when I was a kid, probably middle school aged, and there was a big scandal that went down, and it was a good hunk of the nation, but I don't know if it got out here. This was I'm going to say late 80s, early 90s, and there was a grocery store chain that I don't think we have out here called Food Lion. It is a pretty big grocery store chain right up there with your Albertsons and all that, but it's bigger back east. But they got busted by it wasn't 60 Minutes, but a 60 Minutes like show like Dateline or 2020, one of these shows. And so they had like hidden footage of like butchers like back and they would take like the old food and the chicken that's about to turn, they just slap some barbecue sauce on it and call it gourmet and then put it in the back in the rack there. But it was really the chicken's old and it was about to turn. Same with the fish and the beef. They would basically, if the meat was about to be not good anymore, they just throw some seasoning on it and call it fancy and then charge more money for it. And people were buying it up. And so I'm not going to lie, every time I hit that section of a grocery store, I think of the Food Lion store, and I'm like, oh, seasoned chicken must be old.
Yeah, reduced for quick sale is usually the 4 words I try to avoid.
Yeah. Yeah, I try not to do that when I hit the seafood section, but, sometimes you're like, that's a lot of crab legs.
It's wrapped in plastic. How bad could it be?
Sometimes that's why I'm sick on Monday mornings. I'm just kidding.
Dude, don't even get started.
But yeah, that's my thing, the seafood there. So we do have a full hour.
We do.
I better get her going. We got Amy McVeigh is here, going to join us here in just a few minutes. Good news, but not a lot of time left here. If you want to eat delicious food at our heritage dinner here, and honor the Glass family, really. We say Mary Lou Glass, but really the whole family. This is your last chance. Your 2-minute warning, your speak now or forever hold your peace moment where you can get your tickets. So we can get that in. But after that, the folks at Peppers are going to literally beat us up if we don't stop giving them orders. So this is the final countdown. But Amy will join us give us an update on that and some other things coming up as well. Later on in the hour, we'll have the folks from the Chaves County Extension Office join us about 1:45. Of course, now that the fair's over, you'd think they'd take a big sigh of relief. No. They've got their big holiday event where you come and they do the holiday craft book, and they do the you can get the book is very highly coveted, where it's filled of holiday ideas, food, craft, gift ideas. It's a whole thing. And then so they do the event every year where you go and basically go to the convention center here, and they do a thing around noontime or after work, and you get to try all the foods. They do the workstation, and when you do it all, and I think it's like $5 or something, really cheap, and they're done, they give you the book, and each year it's a new book, and so people want the book because it's full of the recipes and ideas and craft. It's just a holiday who's who of ideas. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about kitchen creations, all the things they've got coming up here in the fall. So that'll be coming up later on this hour. Before we do any of that, though, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have high pressure covering all of the southwestern states, and that'll hang around for the next few days. No rain coming up for a while. Fairly comfortable on those daytime highs. We'll stay in the mid-80s today. Lots of sun, and the wind should be fairly light. Mid-50s and clear for the overnight hours. We'll move into the upper 80s for the afternoon high on Wednesday and sunny. Back to the low 80s and fair Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you. Let me go. You know what? I was sitting here reading something. I was supposed to get my weather. And, bad DJ host. All right, currently 50 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 59%. Winds currently out of the northwest at 3 miles per hour. If you like 80s, I'm talking about temperature, not music or the genre, the year. I mean, you can like those too, not saying it. But if you like the temp, then this week's your week. Because sunny and 86 today. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight. Overnight low of 55 degrees. Winds out of the south 5 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, warmer 87 for a high. Winds out of the west 5 to 10 in the morning. Out of the north 10 to 15 for Wednesday afternoon. Thursday, sunny and 82. North winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday back up to 87 for a high under sunny skies. And then the weekend, warm as well. On Saturday, mostly sunny and 88. And for Sunday, sunny skies and 89. So a little bit of, we'll call it fummer. Fummer. It's not full fall, not our summer 105, so we'll call it fummer. Fummer this week. Enjoy your fummer in southeast New Mexico. Be careful, say it 3 times fast. Something might happen. All right, it is 8:15. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then Amy McVeigh-Tejas with the Historical Society is going to join us. Don't go away.
This spooky season, Roswell Nissan's getting you hooked up with a few treats. No tricks required. Roswell Nissan presents Truck or Treat, Saturday, October 21st from noon to 3. A ghoulishly good time, complete with games and activities for the little goblins. Free food, pumpkin painting contest, and of course, caskets full of candy. And Roswell Nissan will be giving away Graves Farm Pumpkin Patch and Hayride tickets and haunted house passes. Drawing at 3 p.m. sharp, must be present to win. Truck or Treat, Saturday, October 21st at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
Honey, read this. Seems Councilman Barry Foster didn't pay his water bill for over 2 years, owing almost $2,000.
How? They would have cut his water off.
State mandates the water service couldn't be cut during COVID.
This says the Fosters make around $150,000 a year, and they refuse to pay their water bill?
Since Barry Foster's been on city council, city debt has tripled. With rising crime, he voted against hiring 5 new police officers.
And the city delayed vital repairs to our drinking water system. Now, repair costs have skyrocketed.
It's time for a change.
Change by voting for Carlos Marujo.
He's a supervisor at Eastern New Mexico U. Carlos knows how inflation impacts Roswell's working families.
Carlos Marujo will demand Roswell live within its means. He respects taxpayers.
We can't afford 16 years of Councilman Barry Foster.
Our Values PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising. Paid for by Our Values PAC. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
A good night's sleep is so important, and issues like sleep apnea make falling asleep and staying asleep nearly impossible, but we can help. I'm Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. With the help of a simple oral appliance, your sleepless nights could be a thing of the past. But don't take my word for it, just ask Lainey.
My name is Lainey Smith. I wasn't surprised when I found out I had sleep apnea simply because I had a horrible sleep pattern. I attempted to use the machine, then it drove me nuts and I could not sleep with it. And then that's when Dr. Agger told me about the oral appliance. I would suspect I've been using it for 2 years now. In all of that time, I've had less than 10 poor nights of sleep. It's a complete game changer. I feel a lot better because I sleep.
This simple appliance can change your life. Call us today to set up your appointment so you can finally get the good night's sleep you need.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455.
There are 3 key phrases that need to be spoken on a regular basis in a healthy marriage. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
You know, for over 20 years, Julie and I have been sharing these 3 key phrases, and here they are. I love you,
I'm sorry and I forgive you.
Ephesians 4:32 says, "Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ God forgave you."
You know, it's so easy to expect others to love us, to say I'm sorry, and to forgive us. But you know, it's really a gift that we give each other. You know, the Bible teaches us we sow and we reap. Sow into your spouse, I love you, I forgive you, I'm sorry. And then you'll reap a harvest in return. Someone has to start the process. Let that be you today so you can really enjoy your marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
It's October, and that means it's time to paint Roswell Honda pink. We partnered up with the Chaves County Cancer Fund to help raise much-needed money, and we are gearing up for another amazing year. Roswell Honda is giving away some great prizes, including 3 Michael Kors designer purses, pretty in pink, of course. Stop by for a free entry or 3 entries with a qualified test drive. And that's not all. With new inventory arriving daily and over 100 quality pre-owned vehicles on the lot, there's never been a better time to get behind the wheel. Here's Joe Salzar to tell you all about it.
Don't let vehicle pricing rumors fool you. With Roswell Honda's market-based program tool, we are making it easier than ever to get the best deal in southeastern New Mexico. And with every vehicle sold in the month of October, we will donate $50 to the Chaves County Cancer Fund.
Join us Saturday, October 28th from 10 to 1 p.m. We will have a special performance by the Charlie's Angels. Bring cash to support the cause and purchase goods from our many vendors. Help us make it happen for the Chaves County Cancer Fund, and let's paint Roswell Honda pink.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The U.S. Treasury once considered producing donut-shaped coins. They instead decided to go with coin-shaped donuts. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio, now officially, she's actually been in studio for a while hanging out, but officially in studio, Amy McVeigh-Tejas with the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Good. Of course, for folks who don't know, we had our monthly meeting last night.
Right.
And I'm pleased to report we're doing pretty good. We had a great success with our Guy Penrod show.
Yes.
Obviously, the event that happened on Saturday, we had a great turnout.
Blooms. Thank you, everybody that showed up. We know there was a quadrillion things going on, but we were quadrillion and one.
Yeah.
And thank you to every single person that came. We want to extend our appreciation to Farmhouse Roots. The Pierces are amazing. We're going to connect with them on that spring
If we get enough
thing.
of them coming to our events, maybe more people have flowers, and we'll just have so many flowers in Roswell we won't to do with ourselves.
And the joke is we want to extend our appreciation to Skylar Pierce for his love of books.
Nice. Yeah, he was.
He was undoubtedly our best customer, and I think his wife. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, Mike. They snuck out the back door, and I straight up think Miss Molly said, "That's enough. We're getting out of here," because he had his book box full. But you know, we
She's
laugh
like, any
about
more we have
that.
to take out alone.
We laugh about that. Great people doing great
Absolutely.
things. Thank you to everybody that supported our event. Thank you to Danielle Gonzalez. That our promotions were amazing.
Yeah.
Just thank you for great things happening. Again, thank you.
We'll probably do this again in spring?
I really hope that that's possible.
Yeah.
They'll be at their prime time with amazing blooms, and that's a great time for us too. So we really hope. Follow us on RoswellNMHistory.org for upcoming events, and just a lot of great things happening. We look forward to 2024, but we want to really talk and spend this time encouraging people that have said, yeah, I've heard about the Heritage Dinner.
The time has come.
The time has come. We need books. In honor of Mary Lou Glass, we need the children's books. I don't know of a better menu. Mike, you've loved every menu we've had, and we can see the good and the bad in all of them. Miss Mary Lou had a great palate, I guess, right? If we want to say
She did. Well,
there's going to be some great food.
She was kind of a meat and potatoes lady.
She was. That's absolutely right. Throwing in a little seafood or something, that little taste
A lot of people
too.
around here are meat and potato people.
That's
so,
right.
I think
She loved her chocolate, so we're going to introduce the first ever chocolate dessert.
You'll never hear me complain about that.
So,
although I will say this, Peppers has broadened my fruit horizons.
There you go. See,
in their
there's
desserts,
good in all,
I would have never tried
all things.
Yeah, but that being said, I can't wait for chocolate.
That's right. That's right. So I want to encourage, if you're listening and you have paid it forward in the past, we need to celebrate our volunteers. So something we're asking is for some pay it forwards.
Absolutely.
If you do nothing but text me at 575-915-4471 and say, Amy, I'm all in. I want to pay it forward. I want to pay it forward a box. I want to pay it forward a bundle. We need that support to pay it forward if you did nothing else.
Yeah.
If you say, I just want to sit back and have food delivered by Mike Winters in tights for an extra donation, or a Dallas, hey, come on, guys, we need to have fun with this. I have never seen Mike Winters like in a Dallas Cowboy jersey or something. Just for the record, I can't stand the Cowboys. But I've got a challenge. Of
course, you got to eat the food. You won't be showing up in tights. That might ruin your appetite. Just saying.
One person listening made that request, so bring it on, Gary. Come on, Gary. If you're listening, I need a fun challenge. Let's do it. Let's have fun. Mike's gonna have some fun, and let's do it. So I need a challenge. We need to have some fun with this, all in honor of our silent servant, Mary Lou Glass.
Absolutely, yeah. It's now the actual event here. Is coming up in November.
November the 9th.
Yes, the 9th.
By the way, that is Elaine Mayfield's birthday. So if we do the drive-through and you see Elaine, and she will be there, of course, because she's always volunteering.
She always working with us.
That's Elaine Mayfield's birthday, which was a dear friend of Mary Lou Glass. I think that's so special. So the event is November 9th. That does not mean you can pay for a box on November 9th.
No. Like this week is the last week to get it done.
Right. And Peppers has been good to say, hey, later in Halloween, if something comes up and your plans cancel, we can handle an add-on or two. But come on, guys, we've been on the radio. We've talked about this. The love of Mary Lou Glass. Yeah. And just for the record, Mike, something we didn't talk about at the board meeting, Christina Stock, which I love her. She's going to do a feature on this event. She called and she said, you did not tell me all the unique fascinations of Mary Lou Glass.
Yeah,
Mary Lou Glass was in the newspaper hundreds of times, Mike, from golf to community. Of course, she was a silent servant and she was humble. So, of course, we didn't know all this. But I'm going to tell you right now, that woman has had some amazingness at a very young age, and we were just blessed to be part of it.
Absolutely.
Seriously.
And this is why we have this event and things. It's kind of one of those things is, where would we be if she never was a part of our family? Right. And it's hard to fathom. It's hard to think. It's like, wow, how much will we even have a historical society? You know, when you think about it,
that's exactly right.
It's like, if she was not here, would we even be doing what we're doing right now? I mean, will we even have something? And be honest, I'm not sure. She did so much that I don't know if there was enough people to pick up the mantle that she did, over her years in service.
She was that worker bee in the house when everybody was outside taking pictures from the museum. She was so busy, and she was on the... So let's be clear. The way we can celebrate the legacy of Mary Lou Glass is to purchase a bundle for $500 or a box for $100. We need children's books to bless those kids celebrating education. We need that. We'll be receiving books through December. So if you go online and see a great deal on books, even have them shipped to the museum, we're all in. One thing we haven't mentioned on the radio that we really want to mention is, during this time throughout the end of the year, as the society has made an intentional effort to the last couple of years, we want to be a beacon of light towards others. So when you drive by the museum, you'll see candles in our window. You're going to see some beautiful lights on our trees. We are looking for a couple of sponsors in celebration of Mary Lou Glass to be a beacon of light. What that means is, the more lights, we make them stop and just take a moment in. Close your eyes, celebrate the legacy of Mary Lou Glass in our amazing community. We want to be a beacon of light. If you can sponsor the society, which we've already had some generous sponsors. Thank you. We need a couple of sponsors.
We got some twinkling going that we'll have for that.
We've got some twinkling going, but if we want to up that twinkle to be a beacon of light, it's not all about the show. If you sit back, Mary Lou Glass donated little candles that are in our windows in honor of my mother and Vivian Lokeems. She loved for us to enhance that beautiful home and celebrate history. It's about something greater. If we come together, celebrate history, all in the name of Mary Lou Glass, boom, that's a win.
Absolutely.
So please call today or text. I'm making life easy. All you have to do, I remember those telethons or whatever, let your fingers do,
And they always had the panel of people behind them waiting for the phones to ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, we don't have to talk. All you have to do is text me right now, 575-915-4471. Please help us. We will never do Mary Lou Glass justice, but I'm going to tell you right now, as long as
She wouldn't let
our
us.
board, no.
She would be mad if you went over the top with something.
We're not
Yeah.
going to be over the top, but we're intentional and all in honoring Mary Lou the way we think we want. There won't be a lot of pictures, but I'm going to tell you one thing. Her daughter Zoa has been so sweet to make sure we're doing this just the way Mary Lou would want us. So we're going to bless kids. We're going to have lights. That's a win-win.
Subtle, classy, and trying to help
Oh, yes.
people.
But
Yeah.
we'll never stop honoring Mary Lou and those others that have helped us be where we are. But text me at 575-915-4471 regarding how you can sponsor being a beacon of light,
Absolutely.
books, or please, ladies and gentlemen, purchase a bundle to pay it forward.
And really, all we're asking you to do is just buy some delicious food
Hello.
and eat it.
Oh, and the blessing bag. We haven't even covered the blessing bag.
Yeah.
And the blessing bag is full, and it's getting fuller. And I'm so sorry for you. If you do not buy a bundle, you're not getting a blessing bag, and it's worth it. So, see, great food, blessing bags,
And we
a
can
lot of
deliver.
fun. Tina Williams and Ken will be there playing music.
All
We
right.
can
Setting the
deliver.
tone. Yeah, how how the boxes work? If you buy a box for $100, it's a meal for two.
That's right.
That can go to one location. If you get a bundle, you're going to get 5 of those boxes that will feed 10. So we can deliver up to 5 different places.
5
we
households.
can't
Right.
break the box up. So we can't, you're going to get 2 meals. That we can't break it up anymore because of health and safety. Once Peppers does their thing to it, we get a bag, we don't touch it.
Right.
We stay out of it. So but that being said, if we can deliver, if you get the bundle, to 5 different locations.
And we won't charge any additional delivery or anything.
Exactly.
We're just going to bless those.
Now, don't make us go to Texas, but but if we can go around the area here, we absolutely will be doing it. So.
we need a challenge. Hey, now I don't know. There's exceptions. If the challenge is on the table, if somebody would challenge Mike Winters to wear a Roswell Coyote jersey and deliver a box to Gene Dow and Artesia, I'm all in for that. Come on.
Y'all don't like me, do you? Y'all want to get me beat
let's
up.
have some fun
Especially
with that,
after
though.
last Friday. They're not too happy with Coyotes fans right
I'm
now.
not going to lie. I did wear my red, and I am going to say on the radio, go Coyotes. That was a great game.
I'm already in a little hot water this week.
Oh, man.
Because Friday, I
no.
got to go to Artesia to help the Goddard broadcast. So I'm already I'm going to get beat up because then you got to be like, oh, here's that Roswell. And I have a history up there. I used to do that show for 8 years.
Oh, goodness.
And so they kind of look at me as a little Benedict Arnold-ish up there.
Okay.
So
But shout out, not only did the Coyotes show up on Friday, they showed up in full force. And equally so, we've got great athletes, both schools.
Yeah.
Shout out. I love when our locals are just showing up, and really, it's fun.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's
Let's get
great.
involved
It's
and
great to be a Roswellite.
I will show up in Artesia. They won't beat me up too bad. I'll be like,
But we do love challenges. We do love to have fun, and I want to thank you for always making this fun. In light of Mary Lou.
weren't you in Artesia last week before the Coyote victory?
Well, I wasn't in
radio?
Artesia, but I got the flame wrath all the way in Roswell. The smoke was coming out. Hey, let me be clear. I was not in Artesia, but the Artesia smoke was coming through my phone.
Yeah.
So I tried to push the smoke back. I haven't even sent a tacky joke or anything, but they were laying it on thick to me on the radio.
Yeah, they were
and
giving
I
you a hard
rose
time.
above it and just had our beautiful smile. And
But
I'm
you
not
did
gonna
have the
lie.
last laugh.
Well, we did have the last lap, and Ralph and I stayed. We were one of the last ones there, and we took every moment in on Friday night, so that was cool.
Well, that's nice.
And we were there early. I think we were there like 5 hours.
You want to make sure you got a
Well,
good seat.
you know what, though? We love this is perfect
Well,
time
this
of the
is
year.
fun. That's
Great
what it's all
weather,
about.
great sports,
Yeah.
great athletics.
And at the end of the day,
great
the people at
kids.
Artesia are great and everything
Oh,
else.
they
And,
are.
I mean, yeah, we joke about
You
orange
know-
and red and all that, but they love their community and
You
do
know,
so much
win or
great things
lose,
too
they
there.
they interlock themselves at the end of the game, and they are a class act, and we will always say that. We
Absolutely.
have great admiration for them and what the
For
unification.
3 hours, we're ready to go to war, but
They're,
then after that,
they're
yeah.
a unified community, all in orange, and man, that's a great thing.
Absolutely. So, all in good fun.
All in good
So
fun.
I will wear the red, even though I am in tough. I will get ridiculed, but
Oh, we just have to
like I've already
represent.
got my gray shirt picked out for Friday. That
That's
just shows
a wise
station
choice.
logos
That's
and
a
plays
wise
Switzerland
choice.
as much as possible.
That is a wise choice. So, and hooray for the whole entire South. we're strong. We're strong and proud.
Yep.
But support the Historical Society. We always need loose change. We need volunteers. We need memberships. If you have any questions, call history, or you can email historydirector@outlook.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to the website at roswellnmhistory.org if you do not want to talk to me, but you just want to take care of it all in like 5 minutes. You can go straight to our website at roswellmhistory.org to make a donation.
Absolutely.
In honor of Mary Lou, to purchase a dinner bundle or dinner box or purchase books. And we've got John LeMay's new book.
I was about to say.
That's a popular, guys, if y'all have not purchased
He's getting into
that,
the witches
John,
now, right?
He is.
Yeah.
And he was making some unique stories and connections, which, I mean, that's kind of creepy and kind of scary and kind of entertaining all at the same time. That's a hot book. We sold out. Get on the waiting list for John LeMay's Witches, but we sold out. Getting more.
Well,
great thing.
Guess what? We're in October. Christmas trees already starting to, decor's already starting to show up in the stores and the shelves and everywhere.
Yes.
You know what that means? Christmas shopping.
That's right.
And if you're looking for great, unique Christmas gift ideas, the Historical Society has quite a few. If you have a history lover or a reader or art lover in your family or on your gift list here, the Historical Society, between our Peter Hurd prints, like you said, our books from all of our local authors, not just John and Donna, but
Joyce McCollum.
Yeah, even Elvis. We sell some Elvis Fleming books and
Elvis's
some,
books.
and some of those things.
We have the great Lily book. So many legacies. And something fun, if you want us to ship it out, just for example, if you purchase a couple of books right now, we're running a promotion. We could even mail it to that individual and put a Hurd print in as a courtesy for your purchase.
And just a little bragging thing here. Of course, we had some members of our city council and stuff go visit our sister city in Poland a month ago or so here.
Yeah,
and one of the most popular gifts that that one of the dignitaries in Poland loved was the Peter Hurd prints that came from us as a gift, because he was a huge fan. Put it this way, if you want the world's image of what New Mexico is, Peter Hurd's kind of that window for the world
for
on
sure.
that.
And shout out to Christina Arnold for that special delivery boy. We made those little bags, and she had that is some great space that she took up in her suitcase.
Yeah. So if you want
So
something
we did.
uniquely New Mexico and really cool and
a book
beloved
and a print
worldwide,
kind of thing.
ask about our Peter Hurd. The
and
prints,
we do ship the Hurd
the
prints.
Hurd White family's been so generous to give us those to support our historical society. And
all proceeds
we have
go
plenty.
right back
We've got
to us.
We have a great selection. We have 6 or 7 different varieties. I don't
think
remember.
that's exactly right.
Yeah,
I think that's right.
So please reach out to us on that. And one other thing, our archives facility, not down where we keep the archive stuff, but our meeting space. The holidays around the corner. If you got an office party or a little family gathering, we have a facility there that has a kitchen. Fire marshal says it holds about 75 people, and so we could, if you want to even do meals and things, we have a full home kitchen. It's not it's not a
we have a nice kitchen.
Yeah, but it's good enough to cook a meal in there.
Yep,
Absolutely.
we'll have it set up. We'll have it cleaned. That's correct.
Yeah.
And just while I'm thinking about it, from Thanksgiving through New Year's, we'll be decorated, celebrating, taking a trip down memory lane, a childlike Christmas. So you can book a tour, even make arrangements to have a family photo. And we really want to just give you that private tour and really like that family type setting. So call for more information. Call the museum at 622-8333 or text me at 575-915-4471. My phone is beeped twice, and I'm sure hoping that's somebody that wants to help support the Historical Society.
I think it is. One way or another, you're helping. You are
now.
now.
You are now. Hello, whoever that was. Thanks.
Absolutely. And don't forget, get your orders in this week, by Friday at the absolute latest. If you if you want to get a box or a bundle or both for the Heritage Dinner here, call or text Amy right now. I'm going to say the drop dead deadline is the end of this week. We can't really take any more after this.
We need to know now.
We got to make sure Peppers has enough time to do what they do.
And bringing cash or a check directly helps us, but you can do online.
Yeah,
anyway,
let's get the reservations first. We'll figure out how to collect the money.
Exactly
I've already reserved. I just got to cut. One of these days I'm going to cut Amy a check.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I am telling Mike Winters on the air, show me the money. See, he's just like, hey, it is what it is.
I got to bring my checkbook with me. It's sitting in my somewhere.
And we appreciate your support. Great things happen. And I'm just proud of our community. We do always show up to celebrate. That's our legacy, really. It's just coming together.
Absolutely. So come and support. And And trust me, and I imagine if you're kind of not familiar with the impact Mary Lou had, come to the event. When you come talk, you'll see, you'll realize, wow, I did not realize Mary Lou Glass and the Glass family really are really just part of the fabric of what we do.
On a final note, in the words of Larry Hobson, it's all about the kids, and Mary Lou Glass agreed in that sentiment also.
Absolutely.
She, that was her legacy of education, so we're going to collect books, we're going to honor her legacy and bless future generations.
And she always wanted to do it the path of least resistance. It was like, I'm not caring about the glitz and the glamour. I want the meat and the potatoes of the matter, and that's what we want to do. And hence, why this Heritage Dinner is reflecting the way
I can't believe it's almost here, Mike. Where's the time go?
I know. Well, it's been so busy. I mean, we've had, and let's face it, we've had a lot of events this fall.
We have been working our tails off.
And so
if anybody says the Historical Society is slacking, ladies and gentlemen, we are hard. We have been working hard.
And to be honest, it is out of necessity. It's an expensive endeavor to maintain that house, that archives facility. It does cost a lot of money. And especially in the world that we live in and supply and demand and how COVID treated everything, the cost of doing that kind of business has gone up incredibly a lot over the last 4 or 6 years here. So please, thank you for supporting us, and we ask that you continue to do so. We're going to keep providing food and stuff as much as we can to help support, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure your kids can go and visit that museum or have access to that archives facility.
So call 622-8333 or message me at 575-915-4471 or email me at historydirector@outlook.com. We're better together, and thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, thank you as always, Amy.
Yes.
We'll, I'm sure you got a few more phone calls. Well, she's got, phone should be blowing up. She's got some reservations to take, so we'll let her get to it here. But thank you, Amy.
Have a great day.
You
Thanks
too.
a lot.
We'll see you next time, all right? Try to take care of you in between all the other stuff. That's her problem. She's so much involved. You're like, hey, stop and smell the roses there.
I'll do that.
Or the tulips, as in case of Saturday.
In honor of Mary Lou Glass, we're going to smell those roses.
There you go. All right, it is 8:40. We're going to take a quick break. I don't know if my extension office guest is here yet or not, so let's do that. We'll pause for news and quick break, and then extension office should be here in just a few. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. It's been a busy 24 to 48 hours in Roswell. First off, on the crime beat, the 18-year-old man wanted for shooting and killing another teenager inside the Roswell Walmart store has now been apprehended. Joshua Ray Martinez was captured at an apartment building near Southeast Main Street and Hobbs late Monday afternoon, according to a statement from RPD. Police responded to the store Saturday night. That's where they found 19-year-old Steve Soltero shot to death. Witnesses said Soltero and Martinez had been fighting. Police used the store's surveillance system to see that Martinez had begun following Soltero and his girlfriend. When Soltero turned around, the two men exchanged hand gestures and also a few words. Soltero's girlfriend tried to punch Martinez after Martinez tried to shove Soltero. As Soltero tried to walk away, Martinez is seen pursuing him and opening fire with a handgun. Roswell police were also involved in a pursuit that ended in tragedy on Monday. One person was killed after the chase that ended with the driver slamming head-on into a semi-tractor trailer rig near Sunset and Relief Streets. The semi's driver was not seriously injured. The driver of the fleeing car, though, was killed. His name is not yet released. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
This October, Artesia General Hospital is here to help you take charge of your breast health. About 1 in 8 women in the U.S. will develop breast cancer. Understanding your family history and getting screened can help lower your risk and lead to early detection. They're pleased to offer advanced 3D mammography, providing increased early detection, more accurate results, and enhanced comfort. Don't wait. Request your mammogram today. Women over 40 don't need a physician's referral to schedule their annual screening. Visit artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
It takes a long time to develop trust. At LaGrone Funeral Chapel, they've been earning your trust for decades. They understand how important it is to friends and family to celebrate a life in the way you choose. The professionals at LaGrone will ease your stress and anxieties. They'll provide the guidance you need to select a service that's appropriate. And that's what they've been doing for generations, earning your trust and doing the right thing. LaGrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, 900 South Main in Roswell. Online at LaGroneFuneralChapels.com.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, prowl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you could call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Due to extreme pressure and weather conditions, it literally rains diamonds on Neptune and Uranus. Stop snickering because I said Uranus. Here's Mike Winters.
Or snicker. I don't care. I did. Good morning. It is 44 minutes after 8 o'clock. I snicker at a lot of things like that, but I'm 50, but I have a brain of a 7-year-old. That's just what it is. Exactly. You know, what's life if you can't have a good fart joke every now and then?
Every now and then.
Exactly. It is 8:44. Joining us in studio this morning from the Chaves County Extension Office, Drew Garnett back with us. First off, you look pretty well rested and everything. I guess you survived the fair.
I did. We survived the fair. It went really well. Really had kids from all over the state showing animals. It was a wonderful time. And we appreciate everybody that came and supported the 4-H youth that were serving ice cream in the ice cream parlor.
That is my favorite building in the fair. It's the one I hurt myself the most in because, and just like, no cone today, but I will take a shake.
Yeah. And it's all a good cause. I mean, those kids learn how to serve, how to wait on somebody, and
here's
it's
the
a lot
thing:
of skills.
it wasn't crazy hot last week. It was like perfect weather.
Oh my gosh, wasn't it?
And so you could actually like walk around without the ice cream cone, a pile of goo by the time you got out of the ice cream stand. You know what I mean? You didn't have to do the work like right away.
No, you were able to finish it. On your own time.
Yeah, exactly.
Enjoy it.
So please, I hope everyone's at least made 1 or 2 trips while they're out there to the ice cream. That's like there's 2 buildings I always go into every time. That education building to see the trains and the pumpkins and all the projects.
Yes.
And the ice cream building because there's ice cream in there. But I'm glad that they had another successful year and probably raised a lot of money to keep the clubs and the programs going for another year.
That goes a long ways towards helping our clubs send youth to different events throughout the state. So a lot of the state events that go on across, up into Raton, into Las Cruces, Albuquerque, Santa Fe. We send these youth all over the place for different projects and different events, and that money goes a long ways for that.
So are they like known for their ice cream? Like when you go to like other county fairs and things, or like the state fair, do they look like those 4-H kids from down Chaves County? they sure like their ice cream.
I don't know if that's what they talk about, but I like to think so. I like to think that they do. I like to think we're famous for it. But
well, we got cows. Why would we not have ice cream?
I know. Well, we had butter pecan, so you're supporting the dairy industry here and the pecan industry. So
I
it's
smell
a
ice
win-win.
cream. Yeah, when you're growing nuts and dairy, then what do? You make ice cream. Of course.
It.
Silly goose, but I'm glad it was a big success.
It was.
Here.
Really
Now the thing is, the extension office actually gets busier now. I mean, now we're down with fair season, but the fall with of course Christmas and the holidays and things like that. Actually, more events actually start showing up on the calendar through extension office this time.
And so this is still a busy time. And so we just transition into the next thing.
Yeah.
Is really what we do. And so right now actually is the new year for 4-H.
Yes.
So if you are interested in signing up for 4-H, now is the time to do it.
Yeah.
And really get a start on it. We're starting our shooting sports program back up. Starts now.
And
then we have our competitions in the spring.
Those kids have it's really like and they're pretty good. The kids they go compete nationally and win these awards and things. And so we've had a opportunity to interview some of those kids, but it's really a cohesive, fun group of kids that they're all buddies, they're all friends, and so if you're looking for activities that not only show kids
safety, responsibility, camaraderie,
but skills that
social skills. I mean, there is so much stuff that really goes into it.
People don't realize.
If you're interested in shooting sports, if your children are interested in shooting sports, this is a really safe and great environment for them to learn those skills and be a part of that. And so it really is a great program that we offer here.
The proper way with firearms and all of that stuff, and the fun side too, seeing the competition and crazy.
Yes.
Oh, and that's and if you're not even in any of that, there's still plenty of other 4-H activities. Computers.
Absolutely.
If you want to learn, like maybe you have a public service desire, and you want to, some people have been a mayor or a congressperson or something like that.
Come work on your public speaking. Come work on a lot of different skills, and there are a lot of leadership responsibilities that you can partake in 4-H.
Yeah,
4-H is a wonderful program, and it really is. It helps kind of, in my opinion, kind of seal that gap between our school educational system and the social world out there. And so it really does help bring them full circle.
And you know what? And it's something that you're saying there's a really good point with the world we live in today and the way technology is. And you know how, kids think in texting and thinking, that's the world they communicate with now. And that will get you so far.
Yes.
But in the world today, you have to have those other skills to talk to someone face to face, to have
that
actual conversation and back and forth and problem-solving skills, and 4-H will immerse your children into all of that. So they can still work their their text world, but when it's time for them to talk and converse and convey a message in a way that everyone can understand, then they're gonna have that skill set.
Yeah, and that honestly is becoming a rarer and rarer skill for youth today to actually have those skills to just look somebody in the eye, shake their hand, and introduce themselves.
It's just because we're different. Everyone's used to chatting behind a screen now.
Yes, very much so. And so this is a great place to learn that and develop those skills.
This is the stuff that you need to incorporate in your kid to get them the well-rounded stuff. Especially if you have a kid that you're not. Like they don't have. You're trying to find out what they're interested in, what makes them tick.
Yes.
And a lot of times, the best way to do that is throw everything at them and see what sticks. And 4-H can help you do that. Get them involved in as many clubs as possible, and then we'll weed it down to the ones they kind of really, really gravitate towards. But if you're trying to find a niche for your kids, this is a great way to
find interests and hobbies outside of the PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so this is really a great place for them to learn that. There's just about anything you can imagine and things you can't imagine. We have programs and things for them to get involved with.
These are going to be the things that they learn through 4-H are going to be the things that when they're in their 30s with their own families, it's going to come back to the forefront. Remember, this is the stuff that it's preparing them to be good adults. Whatever passion they have, it's giving them the tools to be able to pursue that. And that you can, and in the world we live in today, that's harder and harder to come by. So things like 4-H are a godsend, and we need to support them. So please, next time you go to the fair, double the ice creams so we can have more programs.
Please do. But really, I mean, and then going into that, I mean, right now here in November, well, actually, I think FAFSA got delayed. Normally it starts in October, but it's going to start up, I believe, December 1st is when it's supposed to drop.
So they got a little bit of.
So you've got all these youth who are applying for scholarships and applying to colleges right now. All of these things that we're talking about here in 4-H go on a resume. They help pad that resume so that when you're applying for those scholarships, when you're applying to colleges, you have stuff to put on your resume.
You got
all these things that you've done in 4-H.
In the military, we used to call it bullet points.
Yes, that's it.
But yeah, that's exactly what it is. You're building, because in essence, they're building the resume. They're building that resume so when they have to do their sales pitch to get into the place they want to, and they got that packet, that thing's loaded up with that great stuff.
Very much so.
This is the stuff, and even if they're not pursuing college per se, maybe they want to go in a different direction. They've got the skill set to take that with wherever they go. It gives them, the understanding of the work ethic, the communication skills, problem-solving skills.
Yes.
That's something that's so great in 4-H, working in group team settings, working with others. These are the skill sets you really can't teach a child by yourself.
Exactly.
You need to immerse them in the environment and let them thrive.
Yeah.
And that's and 4-H gives that opportunity.
It really
for your
does.
kids, and they can start young. Like for the early ones,
Yeah.
what's the earliest they can start in a 4-H program?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah.
This is when I wish Tamara were here.
But it's young.
Yeah, so our clover buds are younger. So majority of the ones that I deal with as far as the livestock showing and the shooting sports things, usually it's third grade and up, so 8 and in the third grade and then up from there. But there are the clover buds, which are below 8 and below third grade.
Okay.
That can sign up and... Gosh, I'll have to look up the ages again.
Well, we can call and ask, but
yeah, call the extension
and
office.
it goes right up to 18 and everything. So
that's it. Yeah,
so,
it goes all the way through 18. And
absolutely. So,
it really is phenomenal and a great place to socialize, learn skills, pad that resume, and really develop as a human being.
Absolutely. And who knows? Maybe they find their passion.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, they grow up to be whatever it is, and 4-H was the conduit that got them there.
Yes.
So.
I mean, there's one young lady who's planning to go to college and study entomology, and that's in her experience with FFA doing the entomology competition and also with 4-H in entomology. And so that's the study of insects for those of y'all.
She's got the bug.
Yeah, she's got the bug.
I was waiting for just to do the bug pun. I was lurking, waiting for the bug pun. But, so please call or go online, and we can get you set up and learn you more about becoming a part of all of the 4-H and all that good stuff there. Also, okay. Well, that's what we were just talking about. But we had a call saying they want to know how to join 4-H, and that's what we were just telling them.
So contact the extension office.
Yeah.
So if it's your first time signing up, you do need to come in, get the paperwork, fill that out, and turn it in.
Yeah.
But then once you've been in 4-H, you can usually just renew online.
Sure.
And then we get that information. And
then,
so,
of course, at your meetings and stuff, they probably will show you and tell you if you need help.
And we
all
have
that.
9 clubs right now in Chaves County. And so you get to look at the different clubs that are out there and pick which one works best for your schedule.
Yeah.
Which one that you prefer to go to based on its location on where they have their meetings.
And you can get involved in 4-H and not have one second of farming and ranching experience.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not a requirement. You don't have to grow up on a farm or a ranch to be a part of 4-H. There's so much. Now, that being said, there is that side. If you love showing animals and husbandry and all of that, 4-H has got you covered. But you don't have to like any of that to be involved in 4-H.
No, but if you're interested in it and your family didn't grow up with that background, you live in town, but you're interested in learning more about it, this is a great place to learn about it.
By the way, they do pets like at the fair for livestock.
Yeah.
So if you have dogs and stuff like that,
they have a whole pet show.
And so if you live in a neighborhood where they frown upon you having a pig in your front yard, then maybe you can give it the dog. You weird people. They don't like a big old pig in their neighborhood like that, or an 800-pound cow.
Pig show's my favorite.
Yeah. I just love the boards and the kids and it's just fun to watch. And,
it is.
And to be honest, there is a dance to it. There is like organization.
There is. There's a lot that goes into the showing aspect
it is neat.
of it.
But if you missed it, you'll have to catch it next fair season.
Yes.
But we also have a couple events we want to kind of remind folks about through the home ec side.
Yeah, so
of
Tamara isn't here
office.
today, but Christmas Showcase is coming up, and I believe that is November the 14th.
And this is a highly coveted the craft books that the books they get from this event are the collector's item. That's the reason people want to do this.
Great food recipes, great homemade gifts that you can make for things for people. It really is a wonderful event that goes on. Especially if you love arts and crafts, if you love working on things, if you love cooking and baking, it is a wonderful event to attend.
And every year it's different.
Learn more. Yes, every year it's
so
different.
If you went last year,
new things.
Or year before, you're going to learn different projects this year, and it's food, it's gift ideas, it's decor, all of that for the holidays.
Yes,
and then so you get to learn and try and sample and do the stuff at the event. There's 2 events. There's one right around the lunchtime, and then there's one after work.
Yes.
It's what, $10-15? It's very cheap to sign up.
I don't even think it's that much.
Yeah,
actually.
or maybe $5.
Maybe $5.
Yeah, and then it
call the extension office and ask to speak with Tamara to confirm that. But I believe I want to say it's about $5.
Yeah, and you get the book.
You get the book. You get the samples. They're my favorite part, honestly. But they're delicious.
Oh wait, you want me to try this delicious food? Yeah, I'll muster up the courage.
Yeah. Twist my arm.
But again, that's November 9th.
14th.
14th. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
RSVP by calling the Chavez County Extension Office.
Or come into the Extension office and you can get your ticket right away.
Yeah,
and
very
so
good.
it is a wonderful event. It's a fun family event.
And it's exactly the same whether you go during the lunch hour or if you go after work or school or whatever. It's the exact. Now, that being said, if you want to catch it twice or get two cookies or free samples twice,
sample twice.
I like the way you
hurt.
think. Then come to both. But if you're hoping for new content for the other one, no, it's the same both times.
Yes.
And get the book. And I'm not sure, but I think if you sweet talk Tamara and you're trying to get a hold of some older books, she may be able to dip into the archive, but you got to talk nice to her.
Yeah, you got to be friendly.
Yeah, you talk nice to her to get that done.
So hopefully bring out those 4-H skills.
There you go. There you go. Work on some of your Robert's rules here. But and then of course, if you have any questions about anything we talked about, don't hesitate to call the extension office.
Please do, and we'll give that number here at the end. But other things that are coming up is October 26th. NMDA is hosting a pesticide disposal event.
Okay.
So if you have old expired pesticide or if it's pesticide that's no longer usable, this is a great time to get rid of it so you don't have to store it on your shelf anymore.
Is that pretty much any, like even over the counter, like your Raids or whatever you get?
Yeah,
all that too?
They can dispose of that. And so this is predominantly for agricultural producers, but if you have some pesticide at your house, don't dump it down the drain. Don't just pour it out. Dispose of it responsibly. And so this is a great offering for that. And I'm really excited that NMDA is hosting that here in Roswell.
Yeah.
That's going to be at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds, and that, again, is October the 26th.
So we're about a week and a half here.
Yes, sir.
So
yes,
please
sir.
Please drop that stuff off. Don't send it to the landfill or pour it down the drains or do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Let them dispose of it properly, and that way it doesn't end up back in our water table and all that other stuff.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then for all of our pesticide applicators out there, we're having our continuing educational units, or CEUs, on November the 8th. And so that is going to be a Wednesday, and that will be at Hobson's Hall at the fairgrounds.
Very good. Excellent.
And so that's all coming up.
Nice. Please call RSVP. Give out that phone number to the extension office.
It's 575-623-3210.
Call it. Leave a voicemail if you do not get a live person. And of course, if you can always, it's through New Mexico State University here, but if you go, the extension office does have a Facebook page as well.
Yes, we do have Facebook and a website. And so you can reach us and find us there as well.
And then leave a message to there, and Drew or Tamara or somebody will
get back to you.
We'll get back to you. So,
that's
good
it.
Deal. Well, thank you, sir.
Hey, thank you. And also, another thing that I do want to mention, there will not be a gardening at the library this month.
Okay.
I just can't make it this weekend. And then
we'll see you in November.
But in November, we'll be talking about winter gardening.
Okay.
And then another thing, if anybody's interested in the Master Gardeners and want to know more about it and get to know us as a chapter here in Chavez County, November the 15th at the Extension office from 5:30 until about 7:30. We'll be hosting just kind of an open house for people to come meet Master Gardeners, talk to Master Gardeners, and find out what all it is about and if they're interested in it. So if you're
take the
interested
first
in
steps
gardening,
to getting and approaching to be a Master Gardener yourself.
That's it.
So, good deal. Excellent. Well, thank you, Drew, as always. We'll see you next time here, if not sooner. If we need to get in before then to talk about this, please reach out, Drew. We'll make that happen.
Same goes.
So. All right, it is 9:01. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back. News in progress.
Be easy. There are entrenched powers that are fighting this with everything they've got. They want to keep
Everybody
control over...
wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Moscow's ambition of securing control of the entire Donetsk region. The UK have called the fight Moscow's most significant offensive operation in Ukraine since the start of the year. Analysts saw signs in recent days of a weakening of the offensive as the number of attempted attacks on the city went down significantly. Russia is trying to bolster its efforts to capture the city by sending more troops. I'm Karen Chamas.
Defeated New Zealand Prime Minister Chris Hipkins says he'll continue leading his Liberal Labour Party, for now at least, despite a big election loss over the weekend. He says he still has a bit of fight left in him. Made the remarks after a meeting with his party's caucus, during which there was no immediate move to oust him. Still, Hipkins acknowledges that he and others in his party will be reflecting on their futures in the coming months. Townhall.com. Amy Coney Barrett wants the nation's highest court to adopt a formal code of conduct.
But the Associate Justice says there's already unanimity among the 9 justices that they should hold themselves to the highest ethical standards possible. Barrett spoke at the University of Minnesota Law School event just 2 weeks after the High Court opened its current term in October, with ethical concerns high on many observers' minds. Barrett declined to estimate how long it might take the Supreme Court to arrive on a consensus about what its own ethics code should be. Keith Peters reporting.
Russian President Putin has arrived in Beijing on a visit, underscoring China's support for Moscow during the war in Ukraine, as well as Russian backing for China's bid to expand its economic and diplomatic influence abroad through its decade-old Belt and Road Initiative. The two countries have forged an informal alliance against the U.S. and other democratic nations. Townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The tabloid what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Pearson Barrows.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 at Roswell Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope your dia is going well.
He's trying to acquire a Pedialyte delivery.
To success?
To success. I am deplete of fluids as of late.
Keep the H2O flowing.
Life sucks, man. I'm just trying to kind of make it all work, and then I have one meal, and then food strikes back.
I'm sorry, man. I know your pain. I too have had these issues.
It's just, it's so hard when something that you love so much hurts you. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like.
So, do you mind if I ask the culprit?
I don't know.
Oh,
I legit don't know.
I didn't know if you had it nailed down to.
I have theories.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily want to mention them on the air because they're a potential client.
Okay.
So I have theories, but I don't know.
Because I mean, like, you heard my thing over the weekend. If no one was living on the edge in this town, it was me. But I did it.
Yeah, I have a theory, but I'm also willing to test that theory because that theory was fantastic. And if it's them, we'll roll the dice one more time.
That's right. Happens. You're like, I'm willing to keep it going.
It's like
I get you.
What's the movie? I think we've talked about this recently. Three to Tango with Matthew Perry.
Yeah.
There's a whole scene in there at the beginning, actually at the end, where this restaurant is famous for their tuna melt.
Right.
And it always makes you throw up afterwards, or it always made Matthew Perry throw up afterwards.
Yeah.
And that was the whole thing. It's like, but it's so good, you go back for more because it's just that good.
And you don't like tuna melts, right?
The idea of a tuna melt is vile to me.
It's actually good.
Hot tuna alone is a tough sell, but then you throw in cheese.
Oh, it's great.
And then mayo. And
one of my favorite things to do was take the bagels and have them, like you do.
Have them? No, like half them?
Half of them, yes. But put the tuna on there, throw a slice of cheese, slide it in the toaster oven.
Don't do this, Mike. You got to stop doing this, okay? We talked about this. Stop doing this in public.
Slide it into the toaster oven.
Percent.
And let it get melty golden brown, and then you pull that bad boy out, and it's a little plate of heaven right there.
It can be. It's just, it have to be, I'd have to try it the right way, I guess.
You just have to get over your hang up of tuna as a cold meat.
Well, okay. To me, hot tuna is just a 70s one-hit wonder.
Well, you ate my wife's tuna casserole.
And it was delicious, and that was great.
It was hot tuna.
But
it's a hang up. It's a mental thing. Right here. All right. You're like, tuna shall not be hot. And tuna's like, light me on fire, baby. It's good. Yeah.
I'm fine. I don't know, man. I don't know. The idea, especially right now. Right. The idea of anything.
Yeah, I'm being very, I should not be talking about it.
We have really chosen.
But you
really
said
vile.
tuna melt. It's your fault.
I did. Luckily, it's not hitting me in that category. I'm not like nauseated.
If you say tuna melt around him, he will do something about it.
Do you know what I get? Have you ever had like a physical reaction to like something that somebody says? Like not like a physical reaction, but like you feel it. You're like,
right.
Whew. Whenever I hear someone say that they're nauseous, I get that.
You get what's it called? Sympathy pangs?
No. Because I'm like, my freshman year college English teacher told me, professor whatever, told me, you're not nauseous, you're nauseated. If you're nauseous, that means you stink. So every time I hear someone say that they're feeling nauseous, I have to stop I have to physically hold myself back from going, it's nauseated. You're nauseated, because that's nauseating.
See, if someone did that to me, I'd puke all over myself.
Yeah.
Was that nauseous or nauseated? I'm not sure. But I'm kind of a jerk.
How'd you react? I puked on it. All right.
I've done it before. I'll do it again.
That's like the worst thing in the world you could do is spit on someone.
Yeah.
To throw up on them feels like the way worse thing than that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
When it happened to me, they were not pleased.
I imagine.
Well, I told this story, I think, on the radio once. It happened in like my freshman year of high school. And we just got out of school for the day. And I guess I was feeling a little queasy. I don't know why I said, you know what, just continue about your day. You'll be fine. So school lets out, and all the buses are in the parking lot lined up, and you get to your bus and get on the bus. And so I do my thing. I get on the bus. I get into the bus, and I walk about a third to halfway down the aisle. And then projectile, woof, it shot 3 feet. I hit about 6 people in that vicinity. And everyone else, the back door blew open like a bomb went off in there. And you just saw kids pouring out. And then the ones behind me, I cleared out a bus. The whole school went on like, what's going on? Because I projectile vomited in the bus. And the saddest part, all the kids are sitting on the curb all together. Then there's me about 8 feet from everybody else sitting on the curb while they're hosing out the bus. of my puke. And then they used the same bus to get everybody home because they had
limited resources, man.
The entire bus sat in the first 6 seats. There's poor me by myself in the back in my wet suit going, oh, sorry.
Somebody's sitting on the teacher's lab up here. Just let's pile into the first 4 rows.
That one sticks with me.
Yeah, that's
a memory that sticks.
That's
with
rough.
Me. It was not a good day.
That's rough. Enjoy your breakfast, everybody.
Yeah.
At this point,
don't let that kid on my bus. Oh, and I was sick for like 3 days after. Thank God, and I was legit sick.
Oh yeah,
because there was no way
you want to show
I could
your
have
face
faced myself. And even 3 days later, I was like, oh, but the 3 days did help.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't as troublesome as it could have been. I just got a garden variety of ridicule over that one.
You were able to sort of live that one down.
Yeah, sort of.
And that's why I'm here now.
Yeah.
That's why I don't live in that side of the country anymore.
My nickname in school was not Chuck or Ralph, so I think we did it all right.
Hey, man, little victories. That's what I call
victories indeed. Oh, that's soon as telling it, it's like all coming to my head, like visual, like I can remember the smells, the faces, like it's all coming back to me and not in a good way. That was top 5 most embarrassing days of my life.
That's pretty funny.
All right, it is 9:14. Let's get you up to date on the weather. It's just weather. It's not even that, it's warm. So it's not like exciting. Just weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have high pressure covering all of the southwestern states, and that'll hang around for the next few days. No rain coming up for a while. Fairly comfortable on those daytime highs. We'll stay in the mid-80s today. Lots of sun, and the wind should be fairly light. Mid-50s and clear for the overnight hours. We'll move into the upper 80s for the afternoon high on Wednesday and sunny. Back to the low 80s and fair Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 56 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 46%. Winds are calm at the moment. Sunny today and 86 for a high. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight. Looking at an overnight low of 55 degrees. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunny and 87. West winds 5 to 10 in the morning, out of the north, 10 to 15 for tomorrow afternoon. Clear skies tomorrow night with an overnight low of 51 degrees. Northeast winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny and 82. North winds 5 to 10. Thursday night, clear skies, overnight low of 52. Friday, warm, sunny and 87. And weekend, much like that. Sunny and 88 on Saturday. Sunny and 89 on Sunday. So if you like sunny and 80s, this week is your week to shine. All right, it is 9:15. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we will play our interview on the other side we had with the ladies from the Chaves County Federated Republican Women. We had Janine Best and Margaret Kennert join us last week. Their next meeting is tomorrow. So if you want to RSVP and learn about it, pay attention. It's coming up next here. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
The district season rolls on for your Goddard Rockets, and coming up this Friday, the Rockets fly to the world-famous Bulldog Bowl to take on the Bulldogs of Artesia High. Sierra 106.1 FM and KSVPTV.com have got you covered. Join Chris Deck and Chris Roybal for the pregame show beginning at 6:45 and kickoff at 7. Rockets versus the Bulldogs of Artesia High, Friday night beginning at 6:45 on Sierra 106.1 FM and online at KSVPTV.com. Southeastern New Mexico's sports authority, then, now, and always. This spooky season, Roswell Nissan's getting you hooked up with a few treats. No tricks required. Roswell Nissan presents Truck or Treat, Saturday, October 21st from noon to 3. A ghoulishly good time, complete with games and activities for the little goblins. Free food, pumpkin painting contest, and of course, caskets full of candy. And Roswell Nissan will be giving away Graves Farm Pumpkin Patch and Hayride tickets and haunted house passes. Drawing at 3 p.m. sharp, must be present to win. Truck or Treat, Saturday, October 21st at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
Let the autumn fun begin at the Artesia Arts Council's 48th Annual Art in the Park, Friday, October 20th, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturday, October 21st, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. at JC Park in Artesia. Stroll through the park and find unique items from many fine arts and craft vendors, food trucks, live music, and more. Buy a chance to win a cake at the Artesia High Band Cakewalk, an annual tradition at Art in the Park. Bring the whole family to this fun fall event. Art in the Park, Friday, October 20th and Saturday, October 21st at JC Park, 1710 South 26th Street in Artesia. Paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
The Fergalicious boys can keep you hot this winter.
Fergalicious.
Oh yeah, it's getting cold out there, and Fergie's Plumbing and Heating has what you need to keep things hot in your home. They can come by and winterize your pipes and check your insulation, and you know they'll do it with nothing but love. Oh yeah, baby. Call the Fergalicious boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating at 622-2660. When you need it hot, Fergie's is on the job. Fergalicious.
A good night's sleep is so important, and issues like sleep apnea make falling asleep and staying asleep nearly impossible, but we can help. I'm Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. With the help of a simple oral appliance, your sleepless nights could be a thing of the past. But don't take my word for it, just ask Lainey.
My name is Lainey Smith. I wasn't surprised when I found out I had sleep apnea simply because I had a horrible sleep pattern. I attempted to use the machine and it drove me nuts and I could not sleep with it. And then that's when Dr. Agger told me about the oral appliance. I would suspect I've been using it for 2 years now. In all of that time, I've had less than 10 poor nights of sleep. It's a complete game changer. I feel a lot better because I sleep.
This simple appliance can change your life. Call us today to set up your appointment so you can finally get the good night's sleep you need.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The catfish has over 27,000 taste buds. Do you think they prefer fried or blackened? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 26 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us now officially in studio from the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, Janine Best and Margaret Kinnert back with us. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How is life? Well, let's put you in front of the microphone so at least, you know. No. I know you're not lead, but, you know, she's like, Margaret, you're in charge. I'm just going to sit here and make jokes.
I won't even do that.
But at least got to put the mic in
there we go.
For folks not familiar, the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, I think a lot of that you can figure out in the title there. But yes. But they're a civic organization, a nonprofit civic organization that kind of serves twofold. One is to educate and support the Republican Party and educate the public about the candidates and the policies and all the things that the Republican Party is doing. That's one side of it. The other side is the grassroots community outreach, where they work with youth and various other nonprofit organizations and help them do various local needs and things, you know, particularly scholarships and stuff with kids. But you get involved with a lot of other organizations and help them to support their missions too. So education and really just helping the community. That's kind of what they do. Now, that being said, every Wednesday, the third Wednesday of the month, we would love to invite everyone for the monthly Chaves County Federated Republican Women's meeting. It'll be it's that third Wednesday of the month. They always pick different topics to discuss. Since we're right around municipal election time, a lot of the meetings lately focus on meeting all the municipal candidates and learning about the issues for the election and things here. But come and have lunch and come and learn, and you get to come early and talk with the candidates and the various speakers, and then you can hang out afterwards you want, but you guys do a whole thing where come for lunch about 11:30 or so, get in there, eat, and then have a presentation, and then we'll try to get you out the door by 1 to get you back to lunch or back to work. And
why are we even here?
Yeah, that's kind of it.
He knows it.
Because you got to fill in the rest of the details. You got to tell me all the important things, like what we're eating. What we're...
We don't even know. It's Halloween. It's Halloween.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery lunch this month.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to tell you who's coming.
All right.
And I have to read this off the paper because there's just so many people. This is going to be
so it's going to be
jam-packed.
Packed.
luncheon.
Get there early. Bring your
Yes.
lunch pail. Well, now we got the lunch pail.
Yes,
but everything
we
else
got
we
the lunch covered. Just, but we do need you to RSVP, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But so we're gonna have Cindy Runyon from Better Together New Mexico.
Okay.
She'll discuss the importance of working together towards our conservative goals and the progress we've made working together. We're also going to have the Republican candidates for the municipal judge,
All right.
Honorable Joe Seski, and then we're going to have James Daniel Ornelas, the other candidate. We are also going to have the Republican candidates for the RISD school board positions. Ward 2 is Jared Ashby and Roberto Chavez, and Ward 4 candidates are Andrew Graves and Sergio Jimenez.
All right.
And all of the candidates were asked to include their speech, why they're running, what their qualifications are for the positions, and what they hope to accomplish.
Good deal. So basically saying why I'm doing this and why you should vote for me. And these are great opportunities. I want to tell everyone, if you are able, please try to come to these events. The municipal election that's coming up here, that early voting is already underway, and the actual election day will be a couple weeks away, actually. We're pretty quick up on it here. I say this every time, and I'm going to say it again today. I never, when people say, who do you vote for, wherever, I don't care who you voted for, as long as you can tell me why you voted for them, and it's not stupid things like, well, I see their signs a lot, or I went to school with their cousin's sister's brother's nephew. I don't want to hear all that. I want to be, I like this person because they believe in this, this, and this. Then I'm okay with you. But if you don't know what this, and this until you inform and educate yourself, how do you do that? Come eat lunch with the Chaves County Federated Republican and listen to what these people have to say. Go back to our KSVPTV.com. Check out the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association candidate forum we had a couple weeks ago. It's about 2 hours of nothing but information for you about all of our candidates. I know also on there, the Many Hands organization had a little candidate forum that kind of addressed more of the homeless side. We have that video up there you can go back and watch, too. It's all there for you. So if you early vote here leading up or actually on Election Day here in November, when you go to your polling location and you go to put your little dark check in the boxes here, you're voting for the names that you truly believe will do the job that you want them to do.
Yeah.
And that's how you do. You educate yourself. Get the newspaper. When they do their spotlights and profiles on our candidates, read all of that. When I get our interviews going here, please listen to all this stuff. Come out and listen to what the judges and the school board candidates have to say here next week. The more you talk to them, the more you learn about them. And the cool part is you guys can, at your event, you can come and, be a few minutes before. It's like, hey, you want to meet one of the school board people? Say, hey, I read your stuff online. I kind of got a couple questions to ask you.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the chance.
Well, and that's the, I feel like, I've been coming on here for a few years with the Republican women and also with Leadership Roswell.
Yeah.
And, but, I've gone door to door for several candidates, Janine as well. And it's just baffling to me that, and I know people are busy with their lives and things going on. And, this is not as important to everybody as, but I mean,
but they don't realize it is as important.
Yeah,
Is it more important?
It's more important.
Like we get all mad about what's going on Fox News or CNN, and I'm not saying that's not important, but you want to what impacts what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. The people you're voting for in this upcoming municipal election, your city council, your school board, your judges, when the county commission election, those positions are the positions that impact your day-to-day life, and you're going to want to care about them because when your street thing ain't working or whatever's not working, you ain't complaining to President Biden. You're complaining to your city council.
Well, and what I was going to say is that it's just mind-boggling to me sometimes. There's ads on the radio, ads on the TV, in the paper, and there's signs out, and people still don't know there's an election going on.
And I know that.
There's so many opportunities.
You're trying hard not to know at that point.
And then there's, the opportunities that Leadership Roswell Alumni has done, what we do at the Republican Women Monthly. So this is your opportunity. I know that Janine tries to live stream our meetings sometimes when she's able to do that. So, I mean, just come. If you can't come, maybe you can catch us online. But just like you said, the Leaders of Roswell Alumni Association does their best. I mean, how many candidate forums has Leaders of Roswell Alumni? Like over...
More than I know.
Yeah.
It's
like 40.
I'm going to guess.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
As long as Rick's been there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I've been
so-
involved in a bunch of them and probably a bunch more.
So if you're available this next Wednesday, come and have lunch with us.
Yeah, the food's
And-
great.
Yeah.
The staff at the convention center put on a great spread.
They
even
do.
if they're not going to tell us what it is this time.
Yeah, it's a secret. It's an extravaganza of finger foods.
All right. I hope it's not actual fingers. It is Halloween.
It may be. It may be. It may be.
But they do a great job every month, whether it's, Mexican food or salads
Correct.
or if they get a little, heavier into the, holidays, they'll probably get a little big, heavier, heartier meals. But, during the summer, they like to lighter foods. you know, to go with the season.
Correct.
But
and it's definitely with the season this month.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But they do a great job with the
They
food.
do.
Now and this really mostly for the food and all that. Please RSVP. There's really several easy ways to do it. The Chaves County Federated Republican Women have a Facebook page.
Mhm.
So if you're a Facebook frequenter, you can just go to that page, shoot a message, and Margaret or Janine or one of the other ladies will get your RSVP there and get you in. They can call you too, right, Margaret? Or if you like to talk with live people.
I don't know if that's... I mean, you can.
Right.
But
If you know Margaret, you can get a hold of her. But
Or
probably
Janine,
the
but-
easiest is the Facebook.
Or we have an email, and it's rsvpccfrw@gmail.com.
Okay.
And so that comes directly to me, and it helps me compile the list so that I can give it to Janine, and Janine turns it
Make it the
into
official.
the convention center.
Good deal. What's kind of your absolute drop dead deadline you like to get your RSVPs by? How many days
We
out?
need it, by Friday?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this
So
Friday.
Friday the week before.
Yeah.
So by this Friday, please shoot a message either through Facebook or through the email.
Correct.
And get it. Now, if you have space and it's Monday morning, you're like, oh, I want to go.
Still call.
Still call. They'll try
Or
to work.
just show up.
Yeah, or just show up. Maybe if there's probably going to be plenty of food, but if you're not hungry, and that's the other thing. If you don't want food, you're not hungry, you can come.
Yeah.
But you don't have to eat. We're not going to
Correct.
force you to eat. But if you'd like to, it is the lunch hour, so
Yeah.
enjoy it. And every meal's good.
$16.
Yes,
and
for the
you
meal.
get, tea and water and a dessert.
A complete meal.
Yeah, it is.
And
a full meal.
$16 for lunch is cheap now.
Well,
with an education. With information.
I wish everybody felt that way, but actually,
Have you gone to any restaurant in
Yeah.
town to get anything, including fast food?
You can't do
You're
it.
dropping $20.
yeah. Well, what I was going to say is up in Santa Fe for the Republican women meeting,
It's
they're
30.
paying 50 in some areas,
Mhm.
30.
in other areas.
Yeah, I loved the fair, but man, you had to get a second job to eat at some of them
Yes.
places.
Well, even my kids were like, "Oh my gosh, a bottle of water is $4," and I'm like,
so
okay,
$16 for
there
lunch
you
is
go.
a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the world we live in now. See, you unhappy about this? Pay attention and vote. Dang it! This is why. That one. Pay attention to the bigger election. They have more impact than the people you're going to meet on Wednesday on that one. But this is what we're talking about. You live in a world where, or especially, and unfortunately, younger folks have it harder than us older folks in this one, because. And I think it's the modern time. There's so much easier ways to spread misinformation now than there was 30
Yes.
years ago.
Well, there was more trust 30 years
Exactly.
ago. Now we're always wondering, what side of the coin are you on?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So now more than ever, you have to be on your P's and Q's about this stuff. Just because someone tells you something doesn't mean it's true. You got to trust the source. You got to do your own secondary research on some of this stuff. If someone tells you something, even if it's someone you say, well, they always tell me, okay, I believe, but confirm. This is the world we live in. So please, this is, it's tough, but it's the only way to do this right. If you want to make sure that you and your family have the best opportunities available, you got to do your homework. You got to go and research and support the people that value the same things that you do, and be educated about it, and know the difference between what's legit versus people just spinning garbage at you. And unfortunately, there's so much garbage being spun that it's starting to mix into the good stuff. And I mean, that's not new. That's been happening for a while, but we live in a world where it's easy to be confused. So please put your head on a swivel.
Correct.
Listen, read, consider every source that you do on stuff. So when you do go vote, that's your powerful.
But don't get discouraged.
Exactly. But and your vote is your weapon. I don't care what anybody says, and you hear all this stuff about people voting, and I'm going to sit this one out because I don't like it. No, voting is the one tool that you have to tell people you don't like what they're doing or you like what they're doing. Mm-hmm. That's how you do it. And don't listen to people that tell you you're wasting your vote by voting for someone X. If they line up with what you believe in, you're not wasting your vote. You're voting for the person you truly believe.
Correct.
People will tell you and play the games and all of that stuff. It's like, well, you're not going to help this and that. And it's like, no, I voted for who I believe could do the job. Do that. And if more of us do that.
I also feel you can't complain unless you voted.
Yeah.
That's my big deal. If you didn't vote, you just need to sit back and take the ride.
And I think if all of us did that and did truly voted to the way they believe and do it, we'd have real honest and fair elections. I really do believe it's when other people start trying to manipulate and tell you exactly what's going on. And we got enough of that in this world.
Exactly.
Go for the source. Come to events like the Chaves County Federated Public. Hear it. The candidates' mouths will be speaking. You're getting it literally right out the horse's mouth at this thing here. This is do your own research, do your own investigation when it comes to deciding on the people that you want to vote for this upcoming election. Use all the tools at your disposal to find that out. If you want to get more involved with the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, maybe you see some candidates in this thing and you're like, you know what, I want to back them up and, bigger, or, once we get to primary season and some of that, which will be right around the corner after all this, if you start getting involved and want to see candidate stuff, the Chaves County Federated Republican Women can help you with all of that stuff. If you want to be a volunteer and serve on,
we always need help, and
you don't have to be a woman either. That's the other slight misnomer there.
Yes,
you don't have to.
We have. This is a good time to tell you what we have. We have 100. We closed our membership for 2023 on September 30th with 151 members and 38 associates. So 38 associates. Those are our male members.
Those are the non-female members.
Well, there's babies in there. There's under 18.
Okay, so a few female babies.
Yeah.
Yes. And so, but anyway, we're always we know we live in a conservative area. And so 151 members doesn't even scratch the surface of how many people are out there. We should have stronger numbers. Yeah, we should have and how many people can get involved. And, we have several different chair positions, Caring for America, Americanism. We have a chaplain. We have literacy.
So it's kind of different
scholarships.
Departments within the Chaves County.
And Jones probably told you, every year we take dictionaries down to the Valley schools. And so there's all these other things that we do.
Yeah, it's a civic organization.
Right.
First and foremost,
and so we
does
need
a lot of
as many volunteers as we can get. Because as you know, when you're involved in something, it's generally like the 1% of the membership that actually helps.
And this is a statement I've said. There's probably 100 to 200 people that do everything in this town. You know what I mean? Like there's a certain and you go to every civic organization or everything in town, and there's one of the a few of those 200 people that are involved in everything. You go to the Kiwanis meeting, there they are. You go to the Chaves County Radio, here they are. You know what I mean? That's this community, and we would love to have a few more of the 100 to 200 people.
And we're not asking
involved.
for a lot of their time. The dictionaries is one time a year.
Yeah.
The scholarships one time a year, maybe 2 or 3 weeks out of that year. So it's not a constant.
A big ask.
Yeah.
Now, if you wanted to vote more time, we'll find it.
Oh, yeah.
But we're just asking, it's many hands is what we do. If we can get as many people doing one thing, then a lot of things get done. And that's kind of what we do. It's so more volunteers and kind of get to what I think your point is here a little bit is you live in a state of New Mexico where It is, one could argue, one of the most liberal states in the entire United States of America. I mean, we'll have that argument all day. But there's a couple areas where there is kind of a conservative bastion or area that's still, and we live in one of them. And if you want to see more conservative values and continue that way of life, you can't sit on the sidelines
Correct.
and just watch it go by. You're going to have to actively get involved. And how do you do that? Getting involved in organizations like this, getting involved in candidates that you believe and support the same things that you do. Getting involved in other civic make your community better. Pick your passion. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you're into kids and coaching, or if you rather do get involved in more nitty gritty, dirtier, grimier stuff like homeless and helping out in domestic violence. Whatever your passion is, get involved with it in your community. That's how we make our community better. By you going into that area, going into that polling location when election time, making decisions that you believe are the right ones, and then getting involved in your community. Come out and I'm not asking you to be dumb like, well, some of us that get involved in 37 organizations. Pick one and get involved with it and support it. And you'll find that your life will get better. You'll tend to find out there's a lot of other good things going on, and it just kind of opens the door for other stuff.
So I would like to make a call to the community for November.
Okay.
We have a veterans luncheon, and it's free to the vets. Their spouse has to pay, but their vets can come in.
Okay.
And it's free to the vets. And it's the same third Wednesday of every month.
Okay. And of course, November, Veterans Day that month, so it's kind of a month that we
we're going to
veterans.
feature a missing man table.
Okay.
And we're going to have a speaker from the Institute, and the cadets are going to do the color guard.
Oh, nice.
So it's going to be a very wonderful presentation, but I need veterans to come.
We need the vets
I
to
had
come
a hard
have a
time
meal.
last year getting free food out to the veterans. I don't know why anybody would give away free food.
Veterans are a different group. Sometimes it's same thing like when the high schools have their veterans and the various schools have their veterans. You kind of got to nudge us.
They don't need to be in uniform or anything. They just need to come up and smile at us. I mean,
veterans, I will tell you this. I get it. You don't like me. You just want to do your thing and move on with your life. But
we just want to feed you.
Veterans, this is something I need. You need. This is part of your, I would like to say, responsibilities as a veteran. And what I mean by this is, and this is the easy part, we need to teach the next generation why the importance of the role of the veteran in our society is. Mm-hmm. And so when you go to these high school events, when you go to these other events and you come and let people thank you, I know it sounds weird, you're actually showing the next generation why you're important, why
serving is important.
Why serving is important, why all of our freedoms and the things that we enjoy are tied to veterans. It's important for that. So I get it. You're like, I did my service. I just want to kind of be left alone. And veterans get like that. We kind of do sometimes. But we would love for you to get involved and serve this way, because hopefully your presence at these events inspires a young person to say, you know what, I want to pick up that mantle when it's my time to do that.
Correct.
Because we're going to need that. Look at the news. We need more people getting involved, because the world ain't getting better.
Correct.
And we're going to need that next generation to do what you did to preserve this country.
And this is to honor them
Yep.
for what they did.
Yep.
And even the young ones that are still serving that happen to be home at the time.
Absolutely.
Come on down and free meal, and you're going to get just honored.
Yeah. We just want to celebrate
that simple,
you and
just
thank you.
honored.
And I get it. You're kind of like, no, but just it's to be honest, it's important. Mm-hmm. It's important. If not for you, it's important. And sure, I know you veterans are little soup sandwiches too. We all are. All we get our own hang-ups, our own thing. You've seen and done things in the military that
But
you just
you know what?
civilians don't get
You
sometimes.
may come to our lunch and decide that you like it and come to the next one.
Yeah. But I think, and that's what I think it is.
Yeah.
It's just military people are a different breed. I don't know if you guys have experience with that. It's just sometimes, and part of it's just life in the military, because you see, and depends on what you did and what I do want to share a story on the radio, but now's not the time to do it.
Okay.
It's a dark story, but it's the kind of stuff that people in the military deal with, and if civilians knew it, you just understand.
Yeah, and it leans on another important point about military suicide and veteran suicide, and
they're about to up that number to 23, I think.
Yeah,
there were 22 veterans a day right now, and sadly that number's not going down; it's going up. And I mean, that's just that's one tip of one thing with veterans and stuff. But we want to, and please, veterans, if you're needing help on that stuff, reach out. And if you come out to this event and you're need to talk to someone, there will be someone in that room can help you.
Definitely. Just come and sit and enjoy the company.
Come and enjoy. The food's going to be great. It's going to be, like I said, you're going to be treated like a rock star.
Yeah.
If any, and I know the high schools do the same thing around November and Veterans Day, and I'm not trying to brag on one or the other, but every year when Goddard does theirs, it's literally a rock concert. It's an amazing job that they do.
Well, I think that's probably one of my favorite luncheons that we do, because we've been doing this every year to honor veterans, and it touches my heart to see all of these people that at a young age decided to go and serve in this capacity. When most people that age don't even really know what they're doing.
Sure.
And maybe people that do enlist, they don't know either, but it ends up being such a great benefit to all of us. But for me, it's one of my favorite luncheons that we do, and to actually see these people that live in our community that we don't normally see on a regular basis, or maybe do
or do not realize they were veterans.
Who they are. Right, and
you know them from a whole other world,
right?
And then you're like, I got another life.
Yeah, so it's nice. Yeah. It's really nice to have that opportunity to get to meet these people.
But I know veterans, they don't generally like to share those experiences all the time with the public unless you get it. But at least come out, let the public see you, let them celebrate. I know it's bad.
Let them thank you.
Yeah, and please understand, because the what you did is above and beyond. And I don't care if you signed your name up to join the United States military, Coast Guard, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Army, whatever, don't matter. And I don't even care. What was your job? I cooked. I was CE. I fixed air conditioning. You know what? That's all part of the mission. None of that happens. The person in the trench doing the fighting can't do the thing without the cook doing the thing. And the guy flying the plane to blow up the thing can't do the thing without the guy that fixed the plane to do the thing. All of that is part of that role. And guess what? You do those things in sometimes places that aren't nice. That's so regardless of your role, if you served honorably, you did your thing in the military for 2 years, 4 years, or 20 years, love to have you come out and be a part of this. You made a choice in your life to give up your freedoms to serve this country.
And come and see the garrison flag we're going to have up.
Oh, that thing's amazing. And it's huge. Only time you generally usually see it's during parades.
This one will be up inside at the convention center
for us. That's going to eat up like a third of the convention center.
It is. It's humongous.
Don't get any food on it, please. That thing's got some work to do. But that'll be the November.
That's November.
And of course, you guys will be back to remind everybody.
Voting, yes. November 7th.
After you get your voting done, we can celebrate with veterans.
There we go.
That you did your duty, and come do that. But that'll be the November meeting. But before that, next Wednesday will be the October meeting. Come and meet the candidates for municipal judge as well as school board for the Republican side here. Also, hear our guest speaker about
Cindy Runyon.
Yes.
Better Together, New Mexico.
Better Together. That's what I was trying to remember. She'll be on deck first, and then our candidates afterwards.
Kind of piggyback on what we were talking about with the military. We are signing 500 Christmas cards to send to our military in Fort Benning, Georgia.
Okay,
so that's another project that we're.
So next week, if you come to the luncheon, you can sign some cards and maybe collect a few to give to your family to
Correct.
sign as well. And put it this way: reach out to any Federated Republican Women member, and they'll get you some cards.
We have lots. We've collected the cards, so we have a lot of them for you to sign.
Good deal. Hey, just gee whiz curious. I know this is not technically you guys, but I'm just curious. With the fair last week, I'm sure you both kind of popped in and checked out the Republican Party booth. How did things go there? Did they get a lot of people registering to vote and stuff during the week? Have you heard?
So we work with the Republican Party to man that booth.
Yeah.
So the Republican Party of Chavez County is the one that actually secures the booth.
Gotcha.
And,
well, I knew you guys were adjacent. That's why I was just curious.
But our members typically are the ones that work the booth alongside the candidates.
Provide the resources for people that have questions and stuff.
It's really hard for me anymore to get down there during the evenings because my boys are in football.
She's a mommy.
and I'm a new mom again. But
and how many kids do you have again? You've got a lot.
7.
Yeah, you are a busy lady.
2. And
she's building an army of her own.
She is. She'll be well protected.
She's already up to like a soccer team almost.
So I didn't get out there
gotcha.
during the week to work the booth, but I heard it was
good deal.
booming.
I'm just curious to see if to get a new people registering to vote and all that. Because
every time there are just people that come and register, and so I feel like
I'm hoping the times are causing people to
Correct.
step up and sign up to do this and do their
switch
duty.
their party.
Or switch over because they're tired of what they're hearing on the other side. That's
one could hope.
Yeah, it's.
That's what we're doing, right? That's why we do what we're doing is trying to build up and encourage. And I say this, and it's unfortunate, and so this is my plea to listeners: if you're young, come get involved. I know you're busy. I know. Because I'm living this right now. But,
she's got 7 kids and doing this.
Exactly.
If she could do it, you could do it.
You can try and come to a luncheon. We do have after hours things on occasion.
Yeah.
But we really would like to appeal to the younger people.
Absolutely.
And I'm not even young. I'm 44. But
kind of young to me.
Well, but you know what I mean.
But you need the next generation. You need the 20-somethings in here getting involved.
If you even need to learn how to vote, we'll be glad to teach you.
Sure.
And make you understand and let you understand what voting is about.
Sure.
Because it's not taught in the household anymore.
No.
It's not taught where it needs to be taught
Sure.
anymore.
You're right.
It's just totally ignored. And that's part of the problem in this situation.
I hope people do like when I was a kid. Like I remember my parents taking me in there to vote with them. Before I was too old or too young to do it myself. And this was back in the day when you went in the curtain and you had the little knobs and switches to turn. And so that was like
they probably enjoyed it more. Now it's more like a SAT test.
Yeah, it's not as fun or sexy, but not as many bells and whistles. But that was like my friends, they went with their kids to go do, their parents to do this kind of stuff. I hope families are still doing that kind of thing because that's important. This is how you teach your kids.
Very important.
Take them along to these events when you go to vote and all that. Please experience that with your kids. So, because when they're, you're raising to be adults, at some point, they're little means doing. Then you can vote as a parent-child combo when they're 18 and all that, and do it together. But please get your kids and show them what you're doing there, and show, and I understand if you're watching debates and things, and you get a little of that, monitor your kids accordingly on that kind of stuff. But please do expose them to some of this stuff.
And
least
we
educate
don't
them.
have any policy against bringing your children to the meetings. I've done it before.
Sure.
I know other members have.
Yeah.
So you're welcome to bring children if you if you don't have anyone to keep them.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll figure out childcare and all that. If you have a desire to be a part of it, we'll work the rest out. That we'll figure out. But come out next Wednesday. Come if you want to get more involved. Talk to either one of these 2 ladies or any of the Chavez County. It'll be easy to spot when you see them walking around. Just talk to them. Excuse me, and they'll be happy to get you more information and get you involved and do this. But folks, if you want a better community, there's only one person going to change it. Is you.
Yep.
Get out there and do something about it. Get involved. Come to meetings like this. Go to city council. Go to commission meetings. These are open to the public meetings for a reason. Be in the public watching these things. So when you do, come to these city council meetings. Hear what your counselors are talking about. Hear what they're saying, and please, take note. And if it's stuff you agree with, then you support it. And if it's not, then you do something about it to change it.
Exactly.
That's what you do. Did I get it all? Did I get? I was.
I think so. Keep rocking.
Man, I had a soapbox and a half today, boys. I can't believe it. But thank you guys. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time. If we need more time, or if we want to get a few extra, maybe one extra one here to to remind veterans to come see us next
Okay.
month in November. We'll get all that
find
going
something.
here.
Okay.
Let's do that. So, thank you, ladies.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you, Mike.
Back to taking care of kids. I'm sure there's 2 or 3 ready for you that need your assistance at the moment. All right, it is 7:59. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break before we get you into news. Don't go away.
Busy 24 to 48 hours in Roswell. First off, on the crime beat, the 18-year-old man wanted for shooting and killing another teenager inside the Roswell Walmart store has now been apprehended. Joshua Ray Martinez was captured at an apartment building near Southeast Main Street and Hobbs late Monday afternoon, according to a statement from RPD. Police responded to the store Saturday night. That's where they found 19-year-old Steve Soltero shot to death. Witnesses said Soltero and Martinez had been fighting. Police used the store's surveillance system to see that Martinez had begun following Soltero and his girlfriend. When Soltero turned around, the two men exchanged hand gestures and also a few words. Soltero's girlfriend tried to punch Martinez after Martinez tried to shove Soltero. As Soltero tried to walk away, Martinez is seen pursuing him and opening fire with a handgun. Roswell police were also involved in a pursuit that ended in tragedy on Monday. One person was killed after the chase that ended with the driver slamming head-on into a semi-tractor trailer rig near Sunset and Relief Streets. The semi's driver was not seriously injured. The driver of the fleeing car, though, was killed. His name is not yet released. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
Waking up on the right side. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Look at the appeasement of Obama, Biden, and now Biden alone towards Iran, the number one state sponsor of terror. It is inexplicable. But now already the media mob, memories short as they are, just within a week after these horrific terror attacks, massive amounts of human casualties, kidnapping of innocent people as hostages, children, babies with their heads decapitated, more video evidence you could ever want or imagine. And then, then we see Friday on a mass scale, the numbers of people that are protesting. And I'm watching them and I'm like, what part of Israel being the victim here are these people not understanding?
From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
Now, it's all making sense. Earlier this year, gold bubbled around $1,800 an ounce. But then the banks crashed. The president proposed a $4.7 trillion tax hike, and the Federal Reserve quietly started working on a digital dollar. But Americans did not like that, which is why gold shot past $2,000 and could even spike to $2,500. The economy's going down, the dollar's going down, and gold's going up. Fast, and right now could be your last opportunity to protect your wealth. So write this down, because you'll not only get the chance to protect your retirement savings with gold and silver, you could get up to $10,000 in free silver from Sean Hannity's partner, Goldco. You heard that right, $10,000 in free silver from Goldco when you call 855-815-GOLD. So don't miss what could be your best opportunity to protect your retirement savings today. Call 855-815-GOLD. That's 855-815-GOLD.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have high pressure covering all of the southwestern states, and that'll hang around for the next few days. No rain coming up for a while. Fairly comfortable on those daytime highs. We'll stay in the mid-80s today. Lots of sun, and the wind should be fairly light. Mid-50s and clear for the overnight hours. We'll move into the upper 80s for the afternoon high on Wednesday, and sunny. Back to the low 80s and fair Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Americans kept spending in September at a solid clip, even as they grappled with higher prices and interest rates. Retail sales rose a better than expected 0.7%, compared with a revised 0.8 increase in August. Wall Street opened lower this morning ahead of more corporate earnings reports, as worries about war in the Middle East hang over the financial markets. Shares of Bank of America are up after it reported a 10% rise in third-quarter profits, helped by higher interest rates. Bank executives warn that after burning through pandemic savings, Americans are now turning more heavily to credit cards. Markets are waiting for China's latest economic growth figures due out tomorrow. Economists forecast that annual growth dropped below 5% July through September from 6.3% in the previous quarter. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
You've heard of a Four Seasons room, but have you heard of a Four Seasons window? Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing and Windows. It might surprise you to learn many windows are built to handle only the cold or only the heat, but not both. In Southeast New Mexico, one or the other doesn't cut it. That's why Trustmark windows are built to handle our Four Seasons climate, the scorching summers, the bone-chilling winters, and everything in between. Special glass coating blocks extreme UV rays. A stout frame prevents warping from the extreme weather changes, and insulated glass is like putting your home in a giant styrofoam cooler in the winter and keeps cold out and warmth in, and in the summer it keeps heat out and cool in. For our Four Seasons weather, get Four Seasons windows. Call today for your no-obligation spring window assessment, 575-755-7663, or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Let's face it, guys, we're living in times where the truth is becoming more suppressed and censorship is increasing at an alarming rate, especially on social media platforms. It's Clyde, and I want to tell you about a safe and secure digital playground we put together just for you. It's aftermath.media. You get access to thousands of Ground Zero archives and podcasts, along with our private social media groups with your basic membership starting at only $7 a month. Each subscription includes tech support, access to the RSS feeds, along with our own chat room and Telegram channel. In addition, the premium membership includes research study groups, webinars, a document and movie library, a live video stream of Ground Zero, a monthly Zoom chat with me, and other bonus content. Be sure to check out our yearly specials as well. Sign up today while you're thinking about it. Sign up at aftermath.media. Again, that's aftermath.media.
I was driving home from work.
I was heading out to meet my friends.
I was thinking about what I would make for dinner.
I was just changing the station on my radio.
I was checking my cell phone.
I was only trying to change lanes.
I never saw him.
I never saw him. I never saw that motorcycle.
Until it was too late.
Unfortunately, sometimes drivers don't notice motorcycles on the road until it's too late. Be aware. Always look for motorcycles, because it's their road too.
Sponsored by NMDOT and aired in cooperation with the NMBA and this station.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com.